Welcome in to Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, Sirius XM Channel 375, and all of our great radio affiliates around the country. I'm Chris Bleck along with Adam Abdalla, broadcasting live from the great city of Chicago. We're on the air until 3 Eastern, hanging out with you today. If you want to join the conversation, you can always call or text the show at 310-840-4910. How about the New York Knicks last night? Down 12 in the second half. They come back. They beat the San Antonio Spurs by 10, 105-95 in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. The Knicks take Game 1, and they steal home court advantage.
This is why when they were playing as well as they did against the Hawks late in that series, and they started this 12-game win streak, that a lot of people started talking about how this team can be compared to some of the great playoff teams that we've been seeing for a while. That this team has gone on this run of 12 games in a row, a historic point differential in winning these games. They've won 11 out of these 12 games in a row by double digits now. And just like Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals, they're down and they mount a comeback. And I think it has a lot to do with the same reason that we saw in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. They were coming off of rest. The other team was coming off of a long series. And the long series caught up with the Spurs for Game 1, and you saw the rest benefit the Knicks. Now, also, the Knicks are playing the best basketball they can all play at the exact same time. And in previewing the game yesterday, we talked about that. When guys are everybody's playing well. Karl Anthony Towns is playing well. You know, everybody is playing their best basketball at the exact same time. OG Anunoby's playing well. Josh Hart is playing well. Jalen Brunson gets injured twice in the game. He has to leave the game, go to the locker room, come back, and then he gets fallen on again. His ankle gets injured again, and then he comes back and he plays. He still scores 30 in the game. Like, there's just something magical going on with this Knicks team right now, that they're playing amazing, and they win by 10 last night, and it just goes to show that this team can't be counted out no matter what.
Well, I'm going to push back. I don't think that this is a rest versus rust situation. I don't think the fact that, like, it obviously can help to some extent. The reason the Knicks won the game last night was not because they're more rested than the San Antonio Spurs. The reason they won last night was because in the final 5 minutes of the game, they executed. They executed and they outplayed the San Antonio Spurs. That's it. And it was something that we talked about yesterday on the show. I brought it to your attention yesterday. The difference between these two teams is very obvious to me. One team knows how to get a bucket under 2 at the end of a game. The other team has a good offense, but they don't necessarily have a developed go-to guy at the end of the game yet. Stephon Castle and Victor Wembanyama will be superstars in this league for a long time. Wemby last night at the end of the game was a mess. He was all over the place. Turnovers, bad shots. He's not that yet. Neither is Stephon Castle. He's not that yet. And what happened in the last series with the Thunder was that De'Aaron Fox was the one that would go and get a bucket when they needed it. Well, De'Aaron Fox last night was terrible. Last night, 7 points, 3 of 13 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3. He was brutal. So who's going to get that bucket for the Spurs when you know on the other end, no matter what you do defensively, the Knicks will find a way to get Jalen Brunson the ball, and he is good enough, no matter who you throw at him, to get a bucket. And that's the difference in this series. If the Knicks can get games in the final 5 minutes close, that's going to be in favor of the New York Knicks. It absolutely will. We saw it yet. We knew going into the game yesterday. It's what we said here on this show. So if you listen to this show, when you saw the way the final 5 minutes played out, and Jalen Brunson hits a 3, hits a fadeaway bucket, and the Knicks pull away, it should not be a surprise because the Spurs were a mess on the offensive end. That's what this series is. Well, now, if the Spurs get the production from Wemby from 3 that we've seen at points in the playoffs, and they can get up big enough and keep that lead, and they hit a couple of those shots, yeah, they can win, and they can win this series. But to me, this is exactly how New York had to play it. Keep it close enough until the 4th, make a run, get it under 5 minutes, within 5 points, make it a clutch game. And when you do that, you have the best guy in the league for that. And that's Jalen Brunson. And last night, he showed up 30 points. He was outstanding.
But when you've got guys like Landry Shamet that are shooting 50% from 3, like you're not going to beat that. You're not going to beat that. I also think that, yeah, Victor Wembanyama is all-worldly, and he's awesome. But Victor Wembanyama has got to change the way he's approaching this team. Because you saw what he did to Chet Holmgren last series. And you saw at times what he could do when he was playing inside. The dude cannot go 2 of 9 from 3-point range. They're letting him shoot threes.
Yeah. Yes.
Stop shooting threes.
If you keep him away from the basket, he is less effective unless those shots fall early.
And so if they're going to keep letting him shoot threes and they're not going to fall, then his best asset is that he's 7.5 feet tall and has a wingspan of 10 feet. Go inside. Like, you don't have to jump to score. Like, that's his best asset is that the dude is a giant. Go inside and score from the inside. And how about this? Put some pressure on Karl Anthony Towns. Put some pressure on OG Anunoby. Like, I don't understand why the Spurs didn't adjust their game plan when you saw that Victor Wembanyama wasn't able to score. Like, they didn't make the adjustments. You saw the Knicks make some adjustments during the game. I think that you might see some adjustments during game 2 if those threes don't fall. But the fact that you said they were making bad shots. They were, but they didn't adjust. Victor Wembanyama.
No, they were taking bad shots. They weren't making them.
Oh, yeah, they were taking bad shots. You need to adjust the way you approach this team. The way you won games against the Thunder is not going to be the way that you win games against the Knicks.
Well,
it's just not.
It's one of those things that because of Wembanyama's height, people don't really put together that the Spurs actually are pretty small. And, like, the way they play is, like, outside of Wemby, they've got a height disadvantage, especially in this series. Mm-hmm. And that's where having Karl Anthony Towns, having OG Anunoby on the floor at the same time, getting Mitchell Robinson to play 13 minutes, the Knicks can go bigger. And so what that does is when the shots don't fall, they control the boards.
Yeah.
And when you control the boards and you don't give San Antonio the extra attempts, like that's how San Antonio got up early. They got up early because the wing players, Vassell and Champagnie and Castle, they were getting offensive rebounds and keeping the possessions alive. So the moment that the New York Knicks took care of that, and they really, if you push Wemby out beyond the 3-point line, they're a small team. They really are. There's no one else. You know, Luke Cornett, okay. It doesn't do anything. He's only going to play the minutes when Wemby's on the bench. So perhaps the adjustment that Abdalla is pointing to is that maybe you play Cornett with Wemby.
Yeah.
You try and go a little bit bigger. I don't know. I do think, though, if you got a better game from De'Aaron Fox, likely the Spurs win the game. He was such a no-show. Like, that's the glowing gap here in the offense for the Spurs. It was the fact that Fox couldn't do anything.
Only had 7 points last night. Yeah. Well, Dylan Harper had 16 points, and he wasn't out there late in the game, too.
No, but it's as a rookie player in that offense, you're not expecting him. You got what you needed from Dylan Harper. He was outstanding. In the minutes that he had run, he played great. 6 of 10 from the field, keeping command of the offense. He had 8 boards. Like that's exactly what you need.
Oh, yeah.
Essentially, and I don't want to, get you upset here at the start of the show. Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports. You can call or text us at 310-840-4910.
I'm not upset. The team I picked to win won.
No,
I picked the Knicks to win the series. So.
You have very high standards for Wembanyama. You've told us in the past that your concern over Wemby's play is all based on his points scored, his field goal attempts, and then what else? You had one other mysterious category to how he would have a good game. Last night he had 21 field goal attempts and he had 26 points. Good game, bad game.
Well, it wasn't a good game.
Last week he scored less, took less shots, and they won, but you said that was a bad game. Is this a bad game too?
They lost the game, so it was a bad game.
So it's only wins and losses with Wembanyama.
He said it yesterday after the game.
No. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about you.
He had a good game.
I'm talking about your opinion on Wembanyama.
He can't turn the ball over that much. He cannot turn the ball over that much.
Six times.
When you look at the turnovers, that's a bad game. I cannot look at the box score and see that he had a bad game. I can watch the game. I'm not a box score junkie like a lot of people that can just open up ESPN.com.
Now you are.
Yeah.
Now.
Well, I can also
you were screaming at us last week.
I can also watch the game and see that one team looked well rested when they blew when they were coming back from a 14-point deficit, and one team looked gassed after coming off of a 7-game physical series. Yes. Did it contribute to it? Yes. Was it also the Knicks being this outstanding team? Yes. Both things can be true. Both things can be true at the same time. One team can be a little more gassed than the team that's been sitting at home for 7 days. Both things can be true. And the Knicks took advantage of it. And the exact thing that we said yesterday took place. If you're going to steal a game, it was going to be game one. And that's exactly what they did. And if they were going to be down and you were going to come back from a game late, it was going to be game one. And that's exactly what they did. What we said was going to happen happened in the exact fashion that we said it was going to. The Knicks shot well.
There's only a day of rest before game 2. Does Wemby bounce back?
He said it yesterday that he can't have all the scoring like he did yesterday. He can't play like he did yesterday. So,
Raj Sharon producing the show. Raj, help me out here.
I'm just saying.
Is this not exactly what I was telling Abdalla last week? And he was screaming at us that unless Wembanyama leads the team in scoring and takes all the shots, that it's a bad game.
He can't take that many
there's
threes.
a half truth there.
What am I living in right now?
He cannot take that many
Abdalla
threes.
was quoting his coach. He was all
quoting the
about.
coach.
He was all about his coach says he has to score more. His coach says,
Yeah.
but to your point, Bleck, like Abdalla wasn't disagreeing with it. He was co-signing with it.
I'm co-signing.
He was co-signing.
You can score 26 points. Don't go 2 of 9 from 3 and turn the ball over 6 times. Don't keep jacking up threes when you're missing them left and right. That's not how you win the game when you're 8 feet tall. Go to the basket.
I'm just trying to follow along with the way that we're watching basketball here in the NBA playoffs.
I'm watching basketball, and I'm watching a dude that's 8 feet tall that refuses to play inside the paint. That's all I'm seeing.
Back to the basket. Let's go. Get on the block.
Yeah, look, when the dude can stand up and he can touch the top of the basketball, the top of the basket, not the rim, the top of the basket.
I don't
just
think he
by
can do that.
standing there. I'm pretty sure he can. The dude's got a 10-foot wingspan.
Okay.
He can just stand up and do it. And he's shooting threes and missing them left and right. I think he needs to adjust how he attacks this series.
All right, it's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. I just want to make sure that I'm establishing the proper breakdown on Wembanyama. Now, I agree. You can't just look at the box score. What he does defensively adds so much that doesn't fit neatly into the box score. Last night, though, the Knicks were bothered, but it seems like at times they know how to attack Wembanyama. Right? Like if you get him out near the 3-point line, dribble penetration, you dish off, you get him moving, like you can make him less impactful defensively. There were spots where he was guarding Hart, and Hart was making smart plays when he was guarding Hart because like he wants to sag off, he wants to help defensively. So like that's where, and I agree, Wembanyama and what he said last night after the game is true. He needs to play better. And I've said this entire playoff run for the Spurs. When Wembanyama is the lead scorer, the Spurs are not playing their best basketball. They play their best basketball when he's like the second leading scorer and doing everything else. And someone else is having a great game. That's the way the Spurs win. You know, the Knicks, though, what a win, right? Like, and also from the jump, I was shocked to hear the support in the stadium for the Knicks. Did you notice off the first basket how loud that place was celebrating the Knicks' first bucket?
Yeah.
Like Knicks fans travel to San Antonio.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty cool to see. And the Knicks are now up 1-0 in the NBA Finals.
I mean, we were talking about it before the show of how much it costs to go to these games.
Yeah.
And just looking at it real quick, to go to a game tomorrow night, in just the get-in price, to go to a game tomorrow night in San Antonio, the get-in price is around $1,000 just to get in.
Just to get in for NBA Finals Game 2.
Just to get in.
Yep.
Just to get in to
just
New
to
York.
Get in.
Just to get into
Just to get in.
Just to get into New York.
How many times are you going to say just to get in?
Well, because I'm talking about like the nosebleed standing room only.
I think you're stalling while your internet loads your website. I think that's what's taking place here. Am I correct on that?
No.
No, you're okay.
Is $8,000.
Well, yeah, it's cheaper to fly to San Antonio and to spend $1,000 with the plane tickets in a hotel than to spend $8,000 to get into MSG on Monday night.
For a family of 4. Are you kidding me? I could take the whole family if I wanted to.
That's true.
To San Antonio. And then some. That's insane. $8,000.
That is insane. But I'll tell you what. Monday night at the Garden, the place is going to be up for grabs. I mean, and it's only getting one. I'm assuming they split. I'm assuming tomorrow night the Spurs bounce back and they win. And this series is 1-1 going back to New York for Game 3 on Monday night. Could you imagine the price for that if the Knicks find a way to pull off tomorrow night as well?
Well, the get-in price for Game 4, if the Spurs find a way to lose and the Knicks find a way to win Game 2, the get-in price for Game 4 for a chance to sweep at home,
What is it?
I mean, it's going to go up, so I'll look when we get there.
I thought the way that you were...
No. I want to look after that takes place because that would be because the Spurs are actually a bigger favorite.
I thought you were building into
no.
Here's the price.
No, because I don't know what it's going to be. The Spurs have to lose Game 2 first because right now the Spurs are a bigger favorite than they were for Game 1 right now, even though they lost Game 1.
And we've seen it throughout the playoffs. The Spurs respond.
Yes,
and that's the way the flow of these games, these series have kind of gone. So the Knicks, they get Game 1, they steal back home court. And we'll see if the Spurs can respond in Game 2. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Todd Monken, our guy, yesterday. Yeah, that's right. OTAs taking place in Cleveland with the Browns.
I was just trying to get a sweet haircut.
Yeah. He's already gotten the haircut. Yeah, he's no.
I was just trying to get a sweet haircut.
Okay, thank you, Todd Monken. Todd Monken, yes, gives an update on the quarterback situation, and it's not good for one of the quarterbacks trying to get the starting gig. We'll tell you about that coming up next. The final round of the basketball season is here, and the DraftKings Sports app is now available in all 50 states.
Sweat every possession of the series all in one place with one app. New DraftKings customers can sign up with code B&A26 and spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days.
That's code B&A26 for Bleck and Abdalla 26 in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Yesterday was a terrible day if you were a backup quarterback for the Cleveland Browns named Dylan Gabriel. It doesn't look good for Dylan Gabriel. It appears as if they gave away your number. And it would also appear that your head coach, Todd Monken, new head coach for the Cleveland Browns, our guy Monken.
I was just trying to get a sweet haircut.
Yeah, trying to get a sweet haircut. Yeah,
I was just trying to get a sweet haircut.
It would appear as if Dylan Gabriel is on the outside looking in a two-quarterback competition for the starting gig for the Cleveland Browns. Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson. And it seems like Dylan Gabriel, a quarterback that started games last season, who was drafted ahead of Shedeur Sanders, is the guy on the outside looking in.
He started games and then was injured. And then that's why Shedeur Sanders came in, correct?
Yes. That's how it went. Yeah. And then they had Shedeur finish out the season.
They had Shedeur finish out the season. So, he lost his job. But imagine showing up yesterday after Jared Verse is officially a Brown, and all of a sudden you walk out to training camp and you're like, wait, he's not number 8. I'm number 8. Why is he wearing? He's supposed to pay me. We negotiate. Normally, when a player joins a team, and he wants your number,
sure, there's a
negotiation.
Yeah, there's a nice watch,
a payment.
Yeah, there's something to hand it, a car,
especially
maybe.
when that, Jared Verse was a first-round pick.
When you got money,
he's making a lot more money than Dylan Gabriel is.
Usually those individuals pay for the number.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a lot.
Walk up to the locker and swipe the jersey.
It's not. Jared Verse hasn't reached his second contract, so it's not like a ton more money.
But first-round money is first-round money.
First-round money is better than whenever Dylan Gabriel was drafted money. So he's just taking it. He's just taking the number. And now...
Third round, 94th pick overall, Dylan Gabriel.
So, and now... From what Todd Monken has said, Dylan Gabriel Jared Verse might just be taking that number, and he might not even have to pay for it. He might not even have to ask for it. It might just be available.
Yesterday at OTAs, here's Todd Monken talking about his quarterbacks. Jeez, Monken. Okay, from the top rope there, they have 2 starting level quarterbacks.
All right.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to get a sweet haircut.
Okay. All right.
2 starting level quarterbacks, and it is.
So I'm guessing that's not Dylan Gabriel.
Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders.
And I'm guessing Taylon Green, the newly drafted player from this year's draft. Likely not fitting into that conversation, the 6th round pick from Arkansas.
It's a 6th round pick, so probably not.
Yeah, but, big picture, if you're Dylan Gabriel and they just gave away your number and the head coach just told the media that he has 2 starting level quarterbacks and he's clearly talking about Watson and Sanders, what does that mean for Dylan Gabriel moving forward?
It means that he's either going to be not on the team, or he's going to be a practice squad guy, or he's going to hit waivers, or he's going to hit something, or he's not.
3rd round pick practice squad guy?
Well, look, here's the thing.
I'm guessing, if anything, that's going to be the player they just drafted, Green.
My point is that Todd Monken wasn't around when Dylan Gabriel was drafted, so pay no mind. If it doesn't matter, he's not there. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to Todd Monken.
Well, he's there. They gave away his number. Well, he's there.
Oh, he's not there.
Oh, he's there.
No, he's not. He's not there anymore. He's not there. He's not there. In Todd Monken's mind, underneath that sweet haircut, he's not there. Because in Todd Monken's mind, saying that
I was just trying to get a sweet haircut.
He has
Thank you, Todd.
two starting quarterbacks, which really you only have one starting quarterback.
Yeah, it's
because,
never good to have two starting quarterbacks.
Well, you have Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson is starting. We know the money.
The only time it ever worked where it was good to have two starting quarterbacks was like back in the day, the San Francisco 49ers, when they had Steve Young as a backup to Joe Montana. That was it. That was it. That was the only time in history, in human history. Whenever you have two quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks. That's the rule.
We know it's going to be Deshaun Watson.
I was just trying to get a sweet haircut.
And it's not going to be Shedeur Sanders. We know it's going to be Deshaun Watson. And then look, if Deshaun Watson's not working out, then they'll put Shedeur Sanders on. And we know that along with Jared Verse came another first-round pick, and reports are that first-round pick is ammo to move up in the first round just in case neither of these guys work out. And Dylan Gabriel, guess what? You already haven't worked out.
I guess. I mean,
Dylan Gabriel
was
had
he
the
that
most
bad last year?
He had the most terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day ever yesterday.
I mean, last year he threw for 900 yards, 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions in his starts.
Okay.
He played in, let's see. It's like essentially he started in like 5 games.
All right.
Because he had an attempt in one, he had an attempt in another, he had 3 attempts in a third, and he had 10 attempts in a fourth. So, I mean, he essentially started 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He started like 5 games.
Okay.
And he had 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and he almost threw for just over 900 yards.
Doesn't matter. If Todd Monken comes in his system and he doesn't fit the system, out. Does not matter.
That's wild.
It doesn't matter.
You know, here's what strikes me on this. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Call or text the show at 310-840-4910. The way the Browns are disrespecting Dylan Gabriel is the way that Shedeur Sanders supporters online act like the Browns are disrespecting their favorite player. Does that make sense? Like the way that the bots and the online conversation about Shedeur act is the way it's as if they're responding to what the Browns are doing to Dylan Gabriel. I mean, could you imagine the uproar from coast to coast?
Yeah.
If the Browns just gave away Shedeur Sanders' number.
Oh, my God.
If another player just waltzed in there and took Shedeur's number.
Yeah.
Could you imagine the online outrage?
Oh, my God.
The disrespect and all this garbage around Shedeur.
How dare you?
And if the head coach goes out there, oh, yeah, I've got 2 guys. You got 2 guys. If he was talking about someone other than Shedeur, those people, if they're real and not just bots, they would flip out.
If
they would go
he would
nuts.
have said, if Todd Monken would have said,
they would go crazy over it.
I've got 2 guys, I've got Watson and Dylan.
One guy used to play for the Texans. One guy played at Oregon. People would lose their minds.
Wow. But no, they're going to get a chance. And I think Shedeur will get a chance to start at a certain point because I don't think Deshaun Watson's going to work out. Because every time he started, since he was suspended for a year, he hasn't played well or he's gotten hurt. So Shedeur will get his chance. It's an inevitability. It's going to happen.
So I was just trying to get a sweet haircut.
Jared Verse also spoke to the media about joining the Cleveland Browns. Let's take a listen.
Yeah, it caught me by surprise. I loved LA. I loved the coaches, the organization, my teammates, everybody a part of it, the staff, the fans. I love the whole vibe of LA, Los Angeles, the Rams, and it was upsetting. I was upset for, a good little bit of time. But when you're an athlete, you understand the nature of business. Everybody does what they think is best for their business, and that's the situation that I'm in. I'm happy to be a part of the Browns. I'm happy that they believed in me and they were able to make that trade and bring me here. Be with my teammates, be with everybody here, and I truly do believe in everybody in the locker room. But it was upsetting at first. But you got 2 choices: that you can either work or you can give up, and I ain't never been a quitter.
So there you go, Jared Verse joining the Browns. He's going to work. He's a good player. He'll add to the defense. It was a good move for the Cleveland Browns because now they can move forward. They got first-round draft pick as well, a couple other, a second and a third. They've got a really good player on a rookie deal, and he took Dylan Gabriel's jersey number.
Texter from the 661 in LA.
Hilarious.
Verse straight up Debo'd Dylan for his number. Whew, took his chain and his number and maybe his girl.
Well, could you imagine if that happened to Shedeur?
That's my
The
point.
outrage
Like,
today
man,
from Shedeur Sanders supporters, if that were the case.
I would tell you this. The Knicks winning game 1 would be the second story.
If that were the case.
If that were the case,
yeah.
If Todd Monken said that we had two starting level quarterbacks, we've got, Deshaun and Dylan, the Knicks winning game 1 would be the second story.
It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. I do want to ask you about this with New York. I'm going to ask you in just a second. We're sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting small businesses with affordable coverage options. Quote today at progressivecommercial.com. So I was reading the Washington Post this morning. I saw this story. Have you seen this story going around in New York? It's not Knicks related, but it has to do with being out on the street.
Ooh.
Have you seen these groups of people jumping into the manhole covers in New York City? Mm-hmm. Unidentified people, some with shovels and headlamps, are climbing in and out of the sewer system in New York City.
Yeah.
There have been 3 recent incidents of this taking place in the last couple of weeks. Now, city officials say it's a bad idea. I think, obviously.
You think?
New Yorkers are trying to figure out why people are down there. Some are speculating that it's they're looking for lost jewelry. Others think that they're tunneling underground.
Okay.
What the hell are we doing?
You know what the rumor has always been, that there's gators down there, right? There's gators in the sewers in New York.
Really?
Like we broadcast out of the great city of Chicago. We have rats the size of footballs here. You're like, oh, there's a raccoon. No, that is a rat, my friend. That is a gigantic rat.
His name is George.
We're the rattiest city in the country. We're proud of it, damn it.
Yeah.
And
it's what we do.
We put it on shirts and we love it.
We support it.
Yeah.
Why are people jumping into the sewers
because
in New York City?
They're trying to get the gators.
How much jewelry could be lost down there?
I think this is, you know what they're trying to do? They're trying to find ways.
Tunneling.
They're trying to find.
Even tunneling. Where are you tunneling to, sir?
I just told you about 15 minutes ago how much it costs to get into Madison Square Garden. They're trying to find ways in.
They're trying to tunnel underneath?
They're trying to find ways into the game because it's costing $8,000 to get into the game.
Like when you see the videos, and the videos have been online of these people who, they walk up, they flip the manhole cover, and they jump in, and then they just disappear.
Yeah.
And then, an hour later, they come popping up. What are you doing down there?
They're trying to get their spot for Game 3 and Game 4.
Spike Lee's down there.
All tunnels lead to Madison Square Garden.
What a stupid thing.
Or they're looking for Splinter and the Ninja Turtles.
Okay, I thought about that as well. But, where are you? What are you tunneling down there? You burrowing into the ground? I don't understand. I don't understand this concept.
There's a lot of things.
Why are people jumping into the sewers?
We've got you and I are children of the 90s.
Get it.
We've got Ninja Turtles.
With shovels and headlamps.
We've got Ghostbusters looking for the slime. We've got everything they could be looking for.
Easy on your slime.
Easy, buddy. If it's pink, I got to go see a doctor.
Oh, all right. Okay. What is this?
That's what. Don't take Skyrizi if you're allergic to Skyrizi.
I just saw that story today in the Washington Post talking about groups of people in the manhole mystery. That's what they're calling it in New York City.
I would not put it past Knicks fans to be trying to find a way into Game 3 or 4 because they want to see if the prices are too damn high. We're tunneling in.
It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. So the Knicks win Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Adam Silver, commissioner of the NBA, spoke to the media before the game yesterday. His thoughts on the new lottery system in the NBA. We'll hear from Adam Silver coming up next.
Myles Garrett has been traded to the Rams. The NFL Defensive Player of the Year joins league MVP Matthew Stafford. It's the biggest move of the offseason, with Los Angeles now a heavy favorite to win the Super Bowl. Can anyone knock off Myles Garrett and the Rams? Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
you miss anything from the show, you can check out our podcasts on Apple and on Spotify. And also, the live stream is up on our YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe to Bleck and Abdalla Show on YouTube. We're up and rolling today here until 3 Eastern, hanging out with you. Yesterday, the NBA Finals, Game 1, the Knicks beat the Spurs 105-95. Adam Silver, before the game, had a chance to meet the media. Usually he does his State of the Union address to the media before the NBA Finals tip-off. And Adam Silver yesterday talked about the new lottery system in the NBA.
I was pleasantly surprised that the various stakeholders came together relatively quickly. I think there was largely agreement among our team owners, our general managers, and our coaches, and then ultimately the Players Association as well. I mean, they can speak for themselves, the Players Association, but that this was not what we wanted to see in the NBA, that we needed to make some quick changes here, as I said, and deal directly with those incentives so that teams were not put in the position where they felt they had no choice or that they would be at a competitive disadvantage if they didn't engage in this type of behavior.
So that's Adam Silver before the game. It's never good to hear your leaders say that we need to enact quick changes to something that I feel like, is this really a every single year issue in the NBA, teams tanking to the bottom? I think what we have in front of us for this year's NBA draft is an unusual set of circumstances. It's an unusual year where the top 4 guys, you could argue, are legitimate franchise-changing players. You have Cameron Boozer from Duke. You have Darren Peterson from Kansas. You have A.J. DeBonsa from BYU. And you have Caleb Wilson from North Carolina. All 4 of those players, if you can land one of those guys, you can make a case to your fan base. We have a franchise-changing player.
Yeah.
It's also one of those unusual years as of late where you could almost go 12, 14 deep in the NBA draft, and they're all players who played in college basketball. So they're all players that we're familiar with. They're all players that we've seen. I know last year we had multiple players from France get selected in the top 10. We had players from all over the world get selected. And sometimes, I know the teams are doing their due diligence in scouting and looking at these players. But from a fan's perspective, when you know the players, I think it also adds to the acceptance on a fan level of the tanking, because you know who your team's trying to go get. You see AJ DeBonsa put up 40 in a game, and you're like, okay, as a Utah Jazz fan, I want that guy. Yeah. As a Kings fan, okay, I want that player, right? And I think that adds to it. But I feel like this season, I know it's happened in the past. It feels like this year was more of a one-off thing. I don't foresee next season 13 teams in the NBA all trying to race to the bottom before they implemented these new rules.
No, but you said, and you've said in the past when we've been asked, what's the number one issue in the NBA? And you've said it's tanking. I've said it's load management. And here's your commissioner doing something about it. You might not agree with what he's doing.
Yeah.
But it's change. And when you have, sure, it's a knee-jerk reaction, and he's doing something and he's trying to take something from soccer, which is kind of relegation, but not really relegation. But he's doing something right away. And it's not taking a few years to implement. He is taking what he believes and what a lot of NBA fans, maybe even the majority of NBA fans, believe is the biggest problem in the NBA, is that when NBA teams and ownership and tank, their teams tank, and having an instant impact and change. And that's what you asked for. You want to change, you're getting it. Whether you agree with that change or not, you're getting change. He's just not enacting the change that you want.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in a larger sense, what is the bigger issue? Teams tanking or teams not trying?
Well, like I don't.
Because in my head, I view those as two different things.
I agree with you. Yeah. Like
right? 'Cause there are plenty of teams that are not necessarily tanking.
Yes.
Who just don't try.
Yeah. Like my biggest problem is the load management rule or the load management issue, and I think the 65 game rule is a bad reaction to that problem because if you are seriously injured and it's not like we had exceptions to that rule. Like you shouldn't. And then of course they made exceptions to that rule and they allowed certain players to get awards and be eligible for those awards. So you have to have exceptions to the rule. But like that's another knee-jerk reaction to a bad problem in the NBA. So I want change and the commissioner is making change. So like he's not enacting good change, but at least we're getting change.
Here's Adam Silver yesterday before game 1 of the NBA Finals talking about that new 65-game rule.
The few prior seasons before we put in place that rule, roughly 1/3 of our all NBA players did not participate in 65 games, at roughly 85 or 80% of the season. And so we came together with the Players Association and really on behalf of the fans, what this is ultimately about, said we've got to find a way to incentivize our stars to be on the floor. And we've got to find a way to incentivize our teams to have our stars on the floor. So from that standpoint, I think the rule is working. When getting to the rules we just changed around tanking, I think what you're seeing in not just the NBA, but in modern sports, the analytics are predominant in that teams are following clear incentives. Players are following clear incentives. And I think just in the same way we change rules to incentivize teams to be focused on winning in the regular season, we change rules to incentivize players to participate in the regular season. And I think they've largely worked.
So that was Adam Silver. To Abdalla's point, he thinks it's worked. And yeah, I mean, we did get more stars that played last season, but you can't avoid injury. Right? So, like, I guess this is the best that they can do without eliminating games from the 82-game schedule, which I am very against. I understand. Players today are playing a more challenging game on the body than what was played previously. Mm-hmm. I think that's the best way I could say it. The game from back in the day, 40 years, 50 years ago, the players did not move or cover the amount of distance on the court that they cover today. The amount of miles, the movement from side to side. You know, you go flip on a game, one of those classics from the 90s. You essentially, for a large portion of the players on the court, you have groups, a pack of players going from one paint to the other, back and forth. Mm-hmm. And yeah, there's a couple that are out on the perimeter, and there's three-point specialists, and there's guys who are attacking the rim. But there's a lot of standing in the paint.
Yeah.
Everything was blocked in on the paint. It's a different game. So, like, I'm not going to sit here and do the players back then were tougher. They're just not, they didn't complain about it. The players today are playing a more physically demanding game as far as athletics go compared to what we saw in the past. It's just true.
It doesn't mean you need to cut 12 games from the season, though.
No. But I think minutes restrictions is a smart way to prepare the body as the season goes along.
Yeah, but I don't think that you need to put game restrictions on an award process either.
Well, I mean, but that isn't that on those who are voting?
Yeah,
like don't be an idiot.
Yeah, exactly.
Use your eyes. Use your mind. Watch the games.
Put restrictions on the voters.
Yeah,
that's what you need to do.
That, you're right. And if a star doesn't want to play, then they get penalized.
Exactly.
That to me would make the most sense on how you would handle it. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Our favorite quarterback in the NFL is retiring. He announced it yesterday. He is leaving the NFL and he's joining a TV broadcast. We will tell you who that quarterback is coming up next here on Westwood One Sports.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
That's right. Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, Sirius XM Channel 375, and all of our great radio affiliates around the country. I'm Chris Bleck, along with Adam Abdalla, broadcasting live from Chicago, hanging out with you until 3 Eastern. You can join us by calling or texting the show at 310-840-4910. Abdalla, we got news yesterday that Russell Wilson is retiring from the National Football League. Danger Russ, retiring. Our favorite quarterback in the NFL. And I say that with the maximum amount of sarcasm.
No, don't. No,
Come
no,
on.
no, no,
What do you
no,
mean?
no, no,
You really that he's your favorite quarterback?
I'm not saying he's my favorite, but it's not going to be, the league isn't going to be as fun without Mr. Dangerous.
Well, he's going to be
without
around.
Dangerous.
He's going to be around. He's joining
without
CBS.
Mr. Unlimited.
He announced that he's joining CBS. He'll be a part of NFL Today on CBS.
Watches
What
that.
do you mean? Our guy Kyle Long's on the desk as well.
Oh,
of course I'm going to be watching.
Viewing.
Friend of the show.
Appointment viewing.
He'll be on the desk with Russell Wilson.
All right.
Yes, but you're right, Mr. Unlimited. Yes.
Mr. Unlimited.
Okay, thank you, Russ.
All
Thank
right.
you, thank you. Yes, yeah, spicy. Yes, and your
All
spicy
right.
sub from Subway. Yes.
Get out of here. More Kyle.
So weird.
More Kyle Long.
But I will say, Russell Wilson. I am confused to who would want to hear from him on TV, but it's what TV execs do. I don't know. I didn't as a football fan of all of the quarterbacks. You want genuine breakdown of football.
That's
and
why they added
authenticity.
Kyle.
Yeah, of course. But
they had to add 2 people.
Is Russell Wilson going to be able? To me, this is going to be a lesser version of Alex Rodriguez on the Fox broadcast for baseball.
Oh, yeah, listen, he's not
Mr. No Card, where it's been reported that other people are the ones prepping A-Rod.
1,000%.
And then he's just reading off and someone's feeding him stuff in his earpiece. And meanwhile, you have Jeter giving good thoughts. You have Ortiz giving great thoughts. Sometimes Frank Thomas is there on the deck. They're all giving good thoughts. And A-Rod is trying to be perfect on TV. That's exactly what Russell Wilson's going to be.
There will not be a critical word that comes out of Russell Wilson's mouth about anybody in the NFL. Spicy. Why do you think? And I listen, like you said, friend of the show, Kyle Long. Why do you think they announced 2 guys joining the set?
Well, because Kyle Long is the opposite of that.
Because Kyle
He's
Long
authentic
is a star.
And he is going to give you real football breakdown.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's funny.
And he's awesome. And Kyle's great, and he's going to give you great
Mr.
breakdown.
Unlimited.
And Kyle has friends in the NFL, but he also doesn't care about being critical because he's being honest about play on the field.
Well,
and
he knows. His dad has done this for so long.
Exactly.
Howie is still great on TV.
Exactly.
Still great.
Exactly.
Same haircut. Still great.
Great hair.
Still great.
You know when you snap on that Lego hair, you know better than anybody. You snap it on.
I hope I have that longevity
Every
with my
morning.
hair. I really do. It's fantastic.
Listen, you don't also get to star in Broken Arrow and be on TV for that long and play in the NFL is almost third.
Broken Arrow is underrated.
Broken Arrow's 1. The Desk is 2.
For
and
you and
the
I,
NFL
it is.
career.
We're obsessed with 90s action movies. So the fact that Howie Long is in Broken Arrow,
It's so
cool. Forget being a Hall of Famer for the Raiders.
No.
He's in Broken Arrow, man.
Broken Arrow. That's all I would want to talk to him about is Broken Arrow.
I mean, he really gets it done. All right, so, Russell Wilson. And I opened this up by saying our favorite quarterback because he is our favorite quarterback to mock.
Yes.
I mean, he is the gift that keeps on giving as far as content. If we're with his spicy sandwich from Subway.
This does mean more content.
His Mr. Unlimited.
Mr. Unlimited.
And then also, remember there was that whole snafu where the Seahawks, I think this is the way it went down, right? The Seahawks said that when Russ was with the Seahawks, that he was running plays off the wristband. And then he goes to Denver and he's asked about, you were running plays offensively off the wristband.
Which I don't understand. Why is that? Who cares?
Well, because Russell Wilson, to me, is the analogy kind of falls apart now because now I'm all in on Tom Cruise because Tom Cruise is trying to save movies by doing all these action things.
Yeah.
But like Tom Cruise comes across as kind of phony, right?
Yeah, of course he does.
Of course. He's like the movie star.
Yeah.
Kind of phony.
Of course
right?
he is. Yeah.
Russell Wilson, to me, is someone who's trying to give you the impression that he is the perfect quarterback, right? Like he does everything the exact way that he thinks you're perceiving how quarterbacks are supposed to be. It's very actor-esque. That's the way it comes across to me. And that's why when he's caught off guard that someone said something and he wasn't prepped for, he's awkward. This is back. He's getting asked about running plays off of a wristband. This is Russell Wilson.
I don't know exactly what he said, but I think won a lot of games there without one on the wrist. Put it, and I didn't know winning or losing mattered if you wore a wristband or not. But I think that do whatever it takes to make sure that we're rolling and moving and everything else. The few times I've definitely worn a wristband, depending on the game plan and what we have called and all that stuff. But
yeah, Russell Wilson, yeah.
The wrist, put it, and I didn't know winning or losing mattered if you. But I think won a lot of games there without one on the wrist. Won a lot of games there without one. On the wrist.
I just
He wasn't prepped for it. He wasn't prepared.
Which is
it
why
was someone asked him something outside the box from his time in Seattle, and he wasn't ready for it.
Which is why pregame is perfect for him.
All right, yeah, that's true.
All
You can
the
prep.
segments,
you prep all week.
All the segments are
No doubt.
pre-planned.
No doubt.
They're set. Now halftime is something a little different.
Well, yeah, but at the desk at halftime.
I mean, those are what, 8 minutes?
If that.
Yeah.
2 commercial breaks.
I know,
I mean,
right?
he essentially has to have a 15-second soundbite on a game.
Yeah.
That's it. So, the Lions are playing well offensively, and Jared Goff looks comfortable in the pocket.
Yeah.
And then he looks back to JB or Nate Burleson. That's all he has to do, right? Like,
Kyle,
it's,
back to you.
Like it's a like 10-second soundbite for each of those guys during halftime.
Exactly.
Anyone can do that. I mean, listen, we're on the air for 3 hours. That's nothing. You kidding me? That's always the funniest. The difference between TV and radio, and how like TV people think that like it's a grueling experience. Not that this is any challenge.
I mean, we're just on YouTube here, youtube.com/.
No, I know.
At Bleck and Abdalla Show.
Well, I'm
Shout
saying,
out, subscribe.
when you are on TV and you realize how little time you actually have.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's like, okay.
With commercials and everything.
It flies by.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. We are in Chicago. Raj Sharon producing the show from Parts Unknown in Colorado every single day. He has covered the Broncos for quite some time while he's out there in the Denver area. And Raj, so you were there for the wristband comments?
I was, and it actually is going to make it worse than the way you just outlined it. So, like you're talking as if, oh my God, he was so caught off guard, I can't believe, and couldn't think on his feet. No, it's even worse. He knew it was coming. So the context was, I think it might have been that morning, Pete Carroll did a radio hit and was trying to prop up Geno Smith. And was like, hey, if you'll notice, Geno's going off of the wristband. And that's one thing that's helping us because, in the past with Russ, he wouldn't do it. So that's what started the story. Russ was clearly prepped about it, that this is what had happened and was said that day, and was clearly prepped that, hey, when you go up to the podium, you're going to be asked about this wristband thing. And Russ and Pete Carroll essentially like throwing you under the bus that you wouldn't wear a wristband. So what you heard was not Russell Wilson caught off guard by a question that he was not expecting. You heard Russell Wilson prepared to answer that question.
Could you imagine?
And knowing exactly what's happened.
I don't know exactly what he said, but
No,
I
you know.
think, won a lot of games there without one on the wrist. Put it, and I didn't know winning or losing mattered if you wore a wristband or not.
I mean, 1-1.
I think that do whatever it takes to make sure that we're rolling and moving and everything else. The few times I've definitely worn a wristband, depending on the game plan and what we had called and all that stuff. But
Yeah, that was prepped. He was prepped for that. Okay.
That is
All right.
knowing it's coming,
All right.
knowing the full context of it,
okay.
and being prepared to answer the question.
Yep.
All right.
Mr. Unlimited. Yep.
Mr. Unlimited.
Yeah, and spicy sub. Yep. It's spicy. All right, Abdalla. So there you go. CBS will be on the broadcast. each and every week of the
Shout
NFL.
out to Kyle Long.
Shout out to Kyle Long.
Good for
our
him.
Guy.
Our guy.
Love it. That's great. We'll watch for Kyle. Absolutely. Russ, we'll see. Is he a Hall of Famer? Russell Wilson. Hall of Famer.
If I have to think this long about it, probably not.
I'm guessing statistics and all of the predictions, you know, how like Pro Football Focus gives you like the Hall of Fame like meter, like how close are you to Hall of Fame? I'm guessing it all says he is. I'm guessing it is. You know, I mean, this is what we have to battle with is people are going to tell us that Eli Manning's a Hall of Famer.
Eli Manning.
So if Eli is, Russ is.
Eli Manning has 2, though.
Okay. Russell Wilson was a better player than Eli Manning.
Doesn't matter.
And I can say,
Rings,
like,
bro.
here's the thing that I always point to with this stuff. At least with Russell Wilson, in trying to think about whether or not he should be in the Hall of Fame, at least with him, you can point to multiple seasons where he was easily a top 5 quarterback.
Oh, of course.
Because to me, like when we do this and we have these conversations about the Hall of Fame, if you're at no point in your career a top 5 player at your position, you're not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Not everyone gets to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
You could be in the Hall of Very Good. There's a lot of those.
Can you play your way out of the Hall of Fame?
At the end of the career? I don't think so. I think once you get to that level, that's what you are.
Okay.
I don't think so. I mean, because couldn't you say the same about Aaron Rodgers holding on here towards the end?
Yeah.
He's not playing at Hall of Fame level
yeah, but
anymore.
Aaron Rodgers is considered like a top 10 ever.
Top 3, I've heard.
Yeah, top 5. I mean, for sure. I mean, that's
One
what
of
I'm
the
saying.
best.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know.
But like Russell Wilson in 2017 led the NFL in touchdowns.
Yeah.
34 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like at that point, when you're a player like that, like it's
So-
a little bit different of a conversation
So-
for the Hall of Fame.
Players whose career was of similar quality and shape. For career.
Ooh, easy on the shape.
For career.
Yes.
This is from Pro Football Reference because they go year by year, right?
Right.
So I'm just going at the very bottom for career. Matt Ryan, Joe Montana, Phillip Rivers, Dan Marino, John Elway, Fran Tarkenton, Ken Anderson,
Yeah.
Dan Fouts, Matthew Stafford, Brett Favre. He's
And of that group, you have
He's a Hall-
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
he's
Hall
a-
of Famers.
he's a Hall of Famer.
I'm
Yeah.
guessing, like that's where the conversation gets interesting because it's really 7. Because Tom Brady is on the list, he'll be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
it is. Well, it's an interesting conversation for Phillip Rivers and Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's an MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Hall of Very Good. Hall of Fame. Phillip Rivers to me is a Hall of Famer.
Phillip Rivers should get in.
Phillip Rivers has the stats to back it up.
Yeah, he does. Stafford's getting in for sure.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I don't think that's a question anymore either.
No. Mm-mm. Yeah, he probably is. It's going to be one of those, he doesn't get in on the first ballot, and it probably takes 2 or 3, and then he gets in.
I mean, also that bad pick on the goal line. Like if Seattle wins that, they win 2 Super Bowls.
If Seattle
that's
wins that
different.
game,
Like I feel like it's not even a conversation. We would say hands down he's a Hall of Famer.
If he's got 2, if they run the ball there, it's yes, he's
That's
got
what I'm
2.
saying. This conversation doesn't even happen.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
we'd be like, oh, because like, what did you say about Eli Manning? He's got 2.
Yeah.
All right, Hall of Fame. At no point in Eli's career, at no point, I watch a lot of football. I have no life. At no point.
Yeah.
Please take offense, Giants fans. That quarterback was never a Hall of Famer.
No, you're right.
He won 2 Super Bowls, so people are going to say he's a Hall of Famer.
And his last name's Manning.
Phillip Rivers was a much better quarterback than
Yeah.
Eli Manning.
Yes.
Well, let's get real here.
Yeah.
So if Russ was able to get 2,
And look at what he did for the Colts last year. You got to give him props.
Phillip
for that.
Rivers?
Yeah.
yes,
Just for trying.
yes, okay,
Just for trying.
Yes, just
he
for trying.
tried.
Just for trying, he gets on.
Yeah.
He gets in. There we go. Yeah.
I don't know exactly what he said.
All right.
What sucks for Phillip Rivers is that that delays him 5 more years.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
I know he doesn't care, but like it delays
Won a
him
lot of games there without
5
Isn't
more
he
years.
like? Isn't the other thing that like he has kids that were at the game that are in like high school or college, and then he also has like toddlers at the game?
Yeah, he's got.
Does he have, like-
He's got a whole like. He's got a whole.
Isn't
He's
what's
got a
the
whole offense.
What's the movie with Steve Martin? Cheaper by the Dozen?
Yeah, Cheaper by the Dozen.
Doesn't he
yeah.
have a whole crew?
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I've got one. They're not cheaper by the dozen. They're not. Raj has one. They're not cheaper by the dozen. They're not even cheaper by the one.
not.
Well, do you have Philip Rivers money?
No, God, no. I wish. If I did, they probably would be.
I think that's the difference.
Yeah.
Winning or losing.
Oh, Russ, what are you doing?
Russ,
He's just in the background,
save it
just
for CBS.
muttering to himself.
Come on.
I think that do whatever it takes.
Save it for CBS.
Make
What
sure
are you
they're rolling and
doing?
Moving and everything else.
That was a great movie, by the way. Cheaper by the Dozen. I like that movie.
Didn't they have sequels?
Yeah, I don't care. I'm going with the original. I don't want the extended Cheaper by the Dozen universe.
Yeah, but
I'm
I
not
feel
interested
like,
in that.
Okay, but I feel like Cheaper by the Dozen
Shout out Hillary Duff.
2,
A few times
they didn't take advantage of it and call it by like Cheaper by the Baker's Dozen or something. Like they should have like taken advantage of the
They
title.
rebooted it a few years ago.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, it's
There
on
was
Disney
a
Plus. There's
reboot?
like a reboot. Yeah, there's a reboot.
In the theaters? With Steve
no,
Martin?
it's like a Disney Plus reboot. Gabrielle Union.
Oh,
was
and
I
your
think she's the mom.
guy.
Who's my guy? Zach Galifianakis was in it?
No.
Oh, that'd be quite the combo.
I don't know exactly what he said.
No, I think it's Zach Braff.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah, Zach
okay.
Braff. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Zach Braff. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's weird that I randomly said Zach Galifianakis.
It is. That is random.
It
yeah.
is.
But I think
You're close.
But Bleck's a big
Russ.
Scrubs guy, so you should
Russ,
like
what?
that.
I do. I haven't seen it yet. But I do think it'd be a more interesting film if it was Zach Galifianakis and Gabriella Union. Right? Like, isn't that a better pairing?
I think you'd have to do a little bit more explaining.
That'd be like the
how the
quintessential like Hollywood pairing, though. Like you can be a leading man and look like that.
Yeah, that's a
But on the
very
other-
like
it'd be
late
the ultimate
90s,
double
early
standard
2000s
sitcom.
Yeah.
sitcom pairing. It's like, how did they?
It's what everyone
How
points
did
to
you-
with the
How did you
How?
King of Queens
yeah,
this?
the King of Queens. That's the go-to that everyone says when Paul Blart lands a 10, right? Right when he's trolling around the mall as a cop, and he lands at like a
Adam
14
Sandler's-
on the scale. Like
Yeah.
what? What is that? That's insane. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Coming up next, we will continue to talk about the NBA Finals. We will go over and under Jalen Brunson points in Game 2. Will he have a better game in Game 2 than he did in Game 1? We'll talk about that next.
The cover star of Madden NFL 27 has been released, and it's Chicago Bears quarterback Caleb Williams. Yo, fans in the Windy City, is this a good thing? The third-year quarterback is on Madden Curse Watch. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Broadcasting live each and every day from the great city of Chicago. Chris Bleck, Adam Abdalla hanging out with you here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Now it's time to go on out to Colorado. Parts unknown.
And the next question comes from the line of Raj Sharan with Westwood One. Please proceed.
Please proceed. Hello, Raj. Time for Over and Under here on Bleck and Abdalla. What's up, Raj?
What's up? What's up, Bleck? What's up, Abdalla? All right, let's get started in the NBA Finals. You know, we joked earlier about Wemby needing to score. One guy who he's out there to score is Jalen Brunson. 30 in Game 1. Over or under, and Abdalla, you don't need to Google it because I already pulled this off DraftKings. Over or under 25.5 points for Jalen Brunson in Game 2, Abdalla.
I'm going to say over because I believe that the Spurs will try to limit what everybody else is doing and not necessarily say let Brunson get his. They're obviously going to try to defend him and control what he does, but the attention will be more on, hey, let's not let Landry Shamet go 50% from three. Let's kind of control Hart a little bit more. Like, let's do that stuff and limit what everybody else does and kind of control that, because we know that Jalen Brunson is going to put up numbers and get his. If we can control everybody else, then that will lead us to having a better game as opposed to just focusing on Brunson. So I think that will still lead him to get to, 27, 28, maybe even 30 points. So I'm going to go over 25 and a half.
Abdalla, don't try and control your heart. Let it go, man. Let it go. I'm going to go over, Raj. I think I don't think Adam's wrong with that, but I think Brunson's that good. And I think for the Knicks to be competitive and to win this series, Jalen Brunson's going to have to be the best player on the court each and every game. And by doing so, he's going to have to score. So I'm going to go over. I think he's going to score a lot of points in this series. 25 and a half. I'm going to go over that number for game 2.
And Bleck, to your point from earlier, the Knicks know how to get him the ball and get the heck out of the way.
Yeah.
And let him score.
Yeah,
all right.
It's cool to see, too. Like, they work as such a good team. And that's what I kept thinking about last night watching the game is even when you see players come in off the bench and they're communicating what Mike Brown wants, they all are in sync with, okay, yeah, we're doing this. Okay, you're covering him. Okay, and then when they're on the offensive end, they're running their stuff in the idea of knowing who the shot needs to come from. Sometimes in the NBA, you don't have that. Everyone's out there just doing their own blank, right? But the Knicks, Josh Hart got a rebound or it was a steal late in the game, and he took it up into the front court. And instead of pushing the pace, you slowed up and you waited for the rest of the offense to then get Brunson in a pick and roll situation to then get Brunson the shot. It's like they know what they're best at. And that's when you have great teams in the NBA.
Yeah.
Is when they know what they do and what they do well. Go ahead,
You nailed
Raj.
a comparison a few weeks ago with the Sixers team with Iverson and Brunson. It kind of reminds me of that. Yeah, they know
feels
their
like that,
roles.
yeah.
All right, let's go over to the NFL. We've spent a lot of the week talking about Myles Garrett, and rightfully so. The guy he got traded for, Jared Verse, had 7.5 sacks last season. Now, under coach Todd Monken, will Verse register over or under 7.5 sacks this season, Bleck, which coincidentally, if he hits 8, would match apparently his New Jersey number.
Ooh, I'm going to go under. I like Verse with the Browns, but I just don't see them winning games. And I think a lot of why Jared Verse had success with the Rams is they were up in games. He was able to go after the quarterback late. So I'm gonna say under for the 7.5 sacks.
Okay. I am going to say over. I disagree. I'm going to say over because I think that if you look at the rest of their roster, they had Alex Wright was able to get 5.5 sacks. You had Cameron Thomas get 2.5 sacks. Carson Stressinger got 2.5 sacks. So even though Garrett got his at 23, other guys were also able to get to the quarterback. So it's not like it was Garrett by himself. There were guys, Malik Collins also had 6.5 sacks. So other guys were able to get there. So it's not like it was Garrett and a bunch of scrubs. So they have a solid defense. So it's not like he was the only guy they had to pay attention to. You got to pay attention to multiple guys on that defensive line.
Yeah.
So I think that Jared Verse will still be able to get over 7.5 sacks. I'm going to say he gets to 8 or 9 sacks.
All right, Abdalla, back over to the NBA Finals. The Spurs shot the lights out against the Thunder, but boy, they were cold in Game 1, only 26% from beyond the arc. Will they bump that back up to their average where they've been at in the playoffs? Will the Spurs shoot over under 35.5% from 3 coming up in Game 2, Abdalla?
I'm going to say over. They've always responded when their backs have been against the wall. Obviously, they're not facing elimination or anything like that, but you cannot go to Madison Square Garden down 0-2 trying to avoid a sweep, because if you lose 2 games here and you lose Game 3, you do not want to go into that hostile environment. And after losing Game 2.
Chalamet will be ready, man. The whole New York crew.
Yes, it will be him standing on top of a mountain with everyone below him with a sword.
Him on Action Bronson's shoulders.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm going to say they shoot over because I think that they respond.
I'm going to go over because if you look at last night, Champagnie shot 50% from 3, 5 of 10. Outside of that, they were all bad. So 2 of 9 from Wemby, 0 for 4 from Fox, Vassell 1 for 6, Castle 1 for 5. That's not happening again. I'm guessing they're going to shoot a much higher percentage in game 2 at home. They'll tie up the series. So I'm going to go over that number, Raj.
All right, Bleck, let's go back to the NFL. The Rams, the super team that we're talking so much about, they won 12 games a season ago. Currently, DraftKings has their total set at 11.5 at the moment, which was a little surprising to me. So I asked, will Myles Garrett, Matthew Stafford, and the Rams, I said at a much higher number, win over or under 14.5 games this season, Bleck?
Under. Big time under. The division's too good, right? Seattle, San Francisco, LA Rams. We may put today that the Rams are the top of that group, and the top in the NFC, top in the NFL. That's a very difficult division. And therefore, I don't think any of them are getting the 15 wins. So even whoever wins the NFC West, you're winning the West with like 12 or 13 wins. That's my guess. So I'm going to go under.
Under, okay. The Rams are favored in every single game this year except for the Christmas Day game where they head to Seattle. That's the only game, I believe, still, they're an underdog in that game. I don't know if adding Myles Garrett changed that at all. So, look, I don't think they're going to win every game that they're favored in, obviously. For 15 games is a lot.
15's insane.
15 is nuts.
Come on, they're not winning 15 games.
Yeah, I'm going to go under. I wouldn't be surprised if they got to 13 and sniffed 14 games, but yeah, 15 games is tough, man, especially in that division. And, I mean, they face some other good... I mean, they have to face the Broncos. They face the Eagles. They face the Bills. Like, they've got a tough schedule. The Chargers. Like, they've got a very tough schedule. The Chiefs. They have a very, very tough schedule. So, outside of their division, they've got tough games. So, I'm going to go under.
Yeah, you'd be looking at 2 seasons ago, the Chiefs. They won 15 games. So that's sort of the closest. And that was a lot of one-score wins that year. All right, back over to the NBA. And this number keeps going up. The most recent one I've seen is around $8,000 for what Abdalla would call a get-in ticket at Madison Square Garden for Game 3. $8,000 is the most recent one I've seen. By the time Game 3 rolls around, we are getting ready to tip. The cheapest get-in ticket at the Garden will be over or under $9,500, Black.
Oh man, this is so difficult because you have to judge. You have to judge the mindset of the New York Knicks fan. They've yet to win a title since 1973. The city is electric, on fire with Knicks fever. Oh man, I'm gonna go over. I think people are that obsessed with the New York Knicks in New York City that people are willing to spend large chunks of dough, and so many celebrities are coming in for these games who are Knicks fans. Yeah, I'm going to go over. I think that's what's driving the price up.
I'm going to go under because I don't think you're spending $8,000 to sit in the 300 levels, the 400 levels, or standing room only. Like, come on, dude.
You want to get in.
Yeah.
It's a lifetime experience.
Yeah, I understand that.
You're in the building. You're in the Garden.
Courtside are going for $29,000, $30,000 right now.
Just buy a car.
Dude.
You get to sit in your Chalamet. Come on.
I get that. But I'm saying
okay, let me ask you this.
It's under.
Right? Here's
I also think the Spurs win tomorrow night, and that price comes down.
Okay,
a
Raj,
bit.
here's the situation. I don't know why this popped into my head. You could get in, and it's only a $50 get-in price for you. But the condition is this. You know how the seats are there, and they're courtside, and Chalamet's sitting there?
Yeah.
You have to lay underneath his seat and like pop your head out
and do the head on your
underneath his legs
and have your feet
and you're at court level
your
and your
knees are
feet,
bent and your
knees are bent and they're in like the second row and you're underneath.
That'd be like the most expensive ticket in the house. The stories these
for
Knicks
$50
fans have
would
forever.
you do that for the entire game?
Nick Costos would do it for free
underneath
underneath Chalamet with his feet kicking up in the air. Are you
Oh,
kidding
yeah.
me? That diehard of a Knicks fan? Are you kidding me?
I'm just saying, for $50, would you do it?
Are you kidding me?
Would you lay underneath the seat of Timothy Chalamet to see Game 3 of the
He
NBA
would do
Finals?
that with one of those Dune nose pieces in too.
Oh, so they could breathe on the planet?
So you could breathe. Yeah, so you could breathe underneath Chalamet's seat.
Now, if you're laying underneath the seat, you're kicking your feet up, and you're there, and you're, because there's like loose popcorn pieces on the
There's
ground
everything,
there.
yeah.
Do you then take a little sip of his drink?
Of whatever he's
they
drinking?
place the drink
I love
right
how
there
I
on
love
the
how
floor.
Bleck's like, would you do this if they pay you $50? When early in the show we talked about this is a city where like people are like going into the sewers voluntarily. Like
To tunnel
how
in.
hard
to
is
get
it
to
gonna
the sewers? What
Yeah.
are they doing
They're trying to
underneath?
tunnel in.
For $50, would you lay underneath the seat? And would you take a sip
I think
of
I
Chalamet's
don't
drink?
even think that's a question for Knicks fans right now. Are you kidding me? I think you could add a 0 to that, and they would do it in an instant. Are you serious? $50 to be
All right,
courtside?
All right, Abdalla. Russell Wilson, now with CBS, will win over or under half of an Emmy in his television career, Abdalla. Mind you, if the show wins one, that counts.
Okay, have they won an Emmy before?
I think it has one. Yeah.
Okay,
The NFL
'cause
Today.
No, don't
Yeah.
count the show, Emmy.
The show wins
That
it.
doesn't count.
That's how he's not winning it personally. The show has to.
Right. Well, that's the question. He's not going to win it.
Well, the show gets it. He doesn't get it. He's not nominated for it. The show gets it, and
No,
he gets the show.
He could be separately nominated.
No,
Yes, he could.
He's not getting that. The show would get it, and then he qualifies. It's like if the movie gets it and you get it, and you get to be a part of the EGOT. If you get it, if the movie gets it,
No, that's not it.
that's how you get the
No,
EGOT. Yes.
no. You have to do something specifically.
No,
You have to write the song. You have
No,
to act.
no,
You don't
you
just
get-
get to be a part of the crew.
You get to be if you are
No,
cast.
disagree.
If you are cast, you get the That's
Yes,
on your
because you're in
EGOT.
the cast.
That's
you
my
have to
point.
win it. You have to win as an actor.
Let's
you don't
say
get it
in the-
just for
let's
being
say
on the
in
He's
the
team.
on the
spirit-
desk.
Let's say in the spirit of the question, an Emmy involved him, so not like studio design
Under,
or something,
under,
but
hard
like
under.
chemistry
The hardest of
or
unders, Raj.
performance. Or I don't know what they all are.
No, man.
The hardest of unders.
No, he's. I think the show might. He's not winning a personal one.
Under.
And finally, guys, after we're only one game in, the NBA Finals will go over or under 6.5 games played. Bleck?
Pause for dramatic effect. I think it's going to go over. I think it's going to
Getting
go over.
seven?
I think this is a
Getting
7-game
seven?
series. Yeah, I think the Spurs bounce back. I think they split the 2 at the Garden next week. And it'll be what we've done with the Spurs here in the last couple of series. It comes down to the Game 5 winner. The Spurs have that game at home. It'll be a best of 3.
Knicks in 6.
That sounds good, too.
I know.
It just audibly, it sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah. Send it to Bronson.
Knicks
That
in
does it
6.
for over under, fellas.
Thank you, Raj. Appreciate it. Parts unknown, Colorado, hanging out. Those are good questions today.
They were
Hard under on the Russell Wilson winning an Emmy. Hard under.
hard over on the Chalamet seat.
I don't like. See, that's the thing. Would you sit under the seat
They
and
would,
watch
yeah.
the game?
I'm telling you, 500 for a Knick fan for sure.
Sean Little from NBA TV. He's filled in on this show many of times. He covered the Knicks for a long time at Madison Square Garden. Maybe that's something we should ask him coming up. Seriously, maybe that's a question to ask Sean. Would you, if you had the chance, would you sit under the Chalamet seat to watch the Knicks in Game 3 of the NBA Finals? He'll join us in moments right here on Westwood One Sports. The final round of the basketball season is here, and the DraftKings Sports app is now available in all 50 states.
Sweat every possession of the series all in one place with one app. New DraftKings customers can sign up with code BNA26 and spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days.
That's code BNA26 for Bleck Abdalla 26. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org on behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas. Bet tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus, void in Ontario. Event contract trading with DraftKings predictions involve risk of loss. Sportsbook bonus bets expire in 7 days. $50 in predictions dollars issued weekly for 3 weeks, expire in 1 year. Redeem one non-withdrawable reward. Availability varies. Predictions offer void in New York. Ends June 28th. Terms at dkng.co/audio.
The Knicks stole Game 1 in San Antonio. Can the Spurs even the series with a win at home? Or will New York head home to the Big Apple with a big 2-0 lead? The NBA Finals, Game 2, tomorrow night. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
We're talking about the NBA Finals and the get-in price for Game 3 of the Finals in New York City at Madison Square Garden is insane. What was the number we were just talking about with Raj? That they're looking at like $9,000
like
just to get in?
$8,500 just to get in the nosebleed.
So we were joking around as Sean Little from NBA TV joins the show. He's co-hosted with me many times as Abdalla has been out, so he's been on the show many of times. And Sean, as we bring you into the conversation, we were joking earlier. Would you be willing to pay to sit underneath the seat that Timothy Chalamet sits in? So you would be laying underneath the seat.
You'd have to lay on your
court,
stomach.
on the court, just to get in to watch Game 3 of the Finals. What do you think of that, Sean?
Yeah, old school style, like Christmas Day when you're watching cartoons and your feet are kicked up and you're banging your heels together and you got your chin on your hands. And yeah, why
Looks
not?
like we're working to connect to Sean. But yeah, I mean, could you imagine sitting underneath the seat and having, like, you have the row there, you're underneath Timothy Chalamet.
Mm-hmm.
You have Kylie is the friend of Timothy's.
Yeah.
And they're
She's
sitting
next
there.
to him.
And I would imagine Knicks fans would want to do that. And so we're talking about the NBA Finals, and we have what we have in this series in the Knicks stealing Game 1. And going up 1-0 on the San Antonio Spurs, and what Jalen Brunson was able to do last night, the 30 points, and to specifically what Brunson was able to do, and the fact that he gets his buckets whenever he needs to, right? So, like, whatever he's doing and what you're trying to do offensively to stop him is just, it's so difficult to stop because Jalen Brunson is that good of a player to be able to get his shot off at any time. And so to see it last night and to see the Knicks work together to get that done is not a surprise to me that they were able to win that game. I think it's surprising that it was a 14-point turnaround and then to win the game by 10. I think that's the surprising aspect. But for the Knicks to get the game close in the end and then they were able to execute, that to me wasn't the surprise last night.
No, I think the surprise to me was the fact that Wembanyama played the way that he did. I think the fact that he turned the ball over 6 times. I think the fact that he went 2 from 9 from 3. I think the fact that he didn't adjust the way that he was playing. The fact that he didn't go into the paint, into the basket more. That he didn't try to get the reaction that he got from Chet Holmgren and try to turn that into what he got from Karl Anthony Towns and to OG Anunoby and to try to, replicate that. Like, he took Chet Holmgren out of the series, like removed him from the series and from the Thunder. And so the fact that he didn't try to do the same thing to Karl Anthony Towns and OG Anunoby is something that I think the Spurs will try to do in Game 2 and the rest of the series.
Well, Cat is a different player, right? Karl Anthony Towns is a much better player than Chet Holmgren.
Yeah.
And I hope that, like, people realize that. And what we saw last night was Karl Anthony Towns, his ability to give an effort defensively that affected Wembanyama. Like, that's essentially what it was, because in a lot of those situations, Wemby wasn't able to float backwards or to get to the rim because Cat was there and he was making his presence felt. And then offensively, he's the type of player that if he wants to be aggressive, like, that's going to swing this series.
Yeah.
Karl Anthony Towns being aggressive offensively definitely impacted last night's game. And I think that's one of those things where, like, we could talk about Brunson and we can talk about how San Antonio didn't play well. But really, Karl-Anthony Towns having 18 points and 12 rebounds and 4 assists, it really changed the game. So as we bring in Sean Little into the conversation from NBA TV. Sean, what's going on? What did you make of Karl-Anthony Towns and the way that he played last night against Wembanyama?
Bleck Abdalla, what's up, fellas? He was fantastic. I think coming into the series, the one answer that you need to have for Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs are big bodies and guys that offensively can handle the rock and shoot it, and the Knicks have both. And Karl-Anthony Towns was a major factor defensively last night. So, yeah, he was massive. He played really well when they needed him in the third quarter as well, when other guys offensively didn't have it going. That was the MVP last night for sure.
Are you surprised that the Knicks were able to keep up basically everyone, and I've heard you say this before, everyone is playing their best basketball at the same time? Are you surprised that after the long layup that they were able to keep this up after 7 or 8 days off?
You know, what's funny is, like, they didn't, right? Like, they closed the half poorly. They were down 7. They gave up Champagne quarter 3. That really hurt. And then they were down 14 in the third. So I think they were just trying to work their way into the game, deal with the crowd, deal with the situation of being in their first finals together. But, yeah, I mean, this group seems to figure it out pretty quickly, and they together are playing just the best basketball. Like, Mikal Bridges was borderline bad this year for a good stretch of it. He's been spectacular in the playoffs. They started putting Karl-Anthony Towns at the nail, making him a playmaker, making him a pass-first guy. He's been great. And then it cannot go understated, like, this guy, Jalen Brunson, is legitimately Mariano Rivera. Like, forget about it down the stretch. Doesn't matter what he needs to do, what the matchup is. He will figure out a way to put the ball in the hole in the fourth quarter. Guys, he's averaging 9.1 points or 9.2 points in the fourth quarter for the last 3 playoffs in a row. That's unbelievable. If the game is close, the money's got to be on Brunson and the Knicks.
Sean Little joining Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Sean, put into perspective Jalen Brunson's game. I don't know if there's a historical comparison for someone at that stature who is able to do what he does.
There isn't one. Sincerely, like, the footwork is unbelievable. The physicality he brings with the small frame is unbelievable. Like, there was years past where people would complain about him getting to the line. They weren't giving him any foul calls. He wasn't getting to the line yesterday. He just does whatever needs to be done at that particular moment. As covering him for the last 5 years at MSG in New York, I think there's times where he looks around and he's like, damn, looks like it's just going to be me. I just got to go do it. No one else is going to do it. Like, and he just goes, puts his head down, and figures out what needs to be done. There was maybe one possession in the fourth quarter that he took off. They didn't get a bucket. And the rest of the way, he just made sure he had his hands on the rock the rest of the way. He's an absolute closer like we haven't seen in quite some time, and it's consistent. The joke is everyone's better than Jalen Brunson until it's time to be better than Jalen Brunson, and that time is crunch time in the fourth, and he's been unbelievable.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sean. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon, all right?
Hey, worth the money to go to MSG. Don't dip in the 401k, but the atmosphere is going to be something like no one's ever seen.
Thank you, Sean. There he is, Sean Little, NBA TV. He also fills in here on the Bleck Abdalla show often, and we love talking hoops with Sean, and we thank him for joining us. But, yeah, I mean, I would imagine the atmosphere is going to be insane. And then also, like, Jalen Brunson is so underrated, even though he is fantastic. Mm-hmm. And I think, like, it's not even a question of, like, are people learning who he is? It's you kind of question, like, is someone able to accomplish that? Well, without being the guy that's, like, flying through the air or 7 feet tall or whatever it is.
Well, yeah, and even, to do what he did last night after sustaining the knee injury, going back to the locker room, coming back, having his ankle hurt, and then he didn't have to go to the locker room for that, but coming back from that, and then still putting up 30 points in clutch moments, too. It's not like it was a fake. Like, the 30 points were, like, they needed every bit of that last night.
What did we learn from Game 1 of the NBA Finals? We'll tell you coming up next right here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Bleck Abdalla, we'll be back.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
That's right. Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, Sirius XM Channel 375, and all of our great radio affiliates around the country, hanging out with you until 3 Eastern. Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla live from Chicago. Jim Rome will be joining the network at 3 here on Westwood One Sports. You can call or text us at 310-840-4910. Talking about the NBA Finals, the Knicks win Game 1, 105-95. They take the 1-0 lead. They steal back home court in the advantage of the Knicks now. Game 2 tomorrow night in San Antonio. Jalen Brunson was fantastic. The Knicks were down 14 in the second half. They come back. They win by 10. The offense for the Spurs fell apart in the fourth quarter. They couldn't get their shots to fall, and they couldn't really get good looks at the hoop. Meanwhile, the Knicks were running their stuff. They know exactly what they want to do and to execute in crunch time situations, and they've got a player in Jalen Brunson who can get that done. When I asked the question, what did we learn about Game 1 of the NBA Finals, to me, what I learned is that Karl Anthony Towns is going to be the player that swings this series. If Karl Anthony Towns shows up and plays like he did in Game 1, the Knicks will be NBA champions. That's it. I think it's that simple. What did we learn from last night? I don't think we learned anything with Jalen Brunson. We know the dude's awesome. I don't think we really learned much with the Spurs. The Spurs played a game that they've played this entire playoff run. When the three-point shots don't fall, they don't win these games. So if the threes fall, they likely hold on to the game last night. They don't give up the 14-point lead, and they win Game 1. Wembanyama played well to a box score kind of look, but like he said, he didn't play well. He played the way I thought he would play. He was a bit messy at times offensively. But really, the series is going to swing on Karl Anthony Towns, and I think that's the number one thing that I learned from Game 1.
I think that what I learned is that the Spurs need to take a look at themselves in the mirror and figure out a different game plan if that's going to be the case. If they're going to rely on threes, then they're going to lose the NBA Finals. You can't. And I understand that that's what you've relied on the entire season. That's might have would have gotten you here, but good teams adjust. Like, I know that Johnson's a great coach, but what would Greg Popovich do in this situation? You know, would he wait for Victor Wembanyama to go 7 of 9 from 3 instead of 2 of 9 from 3? Or would he adjust for Game 2 and say, hey, 7.5-foot tall dude, get in the paint?
Well, I think some of that is not necessarily coaching. I think some of that is Wembanyama doing it on his own, because when it works, he is the best player in the NBA.
I understand that. But at a certain point, you got to realize, hey, tonight shots aren't falling. Like, you're taking bad shots. They're not going in. When you get inside, like, he had a decent night. Like, he had a great night from free throws. You know, he went 12-13. So get inside, generate some free throws, slow down the game a little bit from that end. And I think they just need to figure out a different game plan from what they had going into the game. Because what they were doing and letting everybody else on the Knicks dictate policy is not how they're going to win Game 2. And you cannot go to Madison Square Garden down 0-2.
Well, we talked about it in the Western Conference Finals. It was San Antonio was the tougher team. That's not going to work against the New York Knicks. OG Anunoby, that dude's a big dude, thick, right? He's got a wide chest, shoulders. He can body you, right? Karl Anthony Towns, I think sometimes people think he's a bit soft, but when he's guarding Wembanyama, like the two of them, they look like those the guys outside the car lot. You know, the right? Like
the wacky inflatable
yes.
flailing arm tube men.
Right, the two of them, and I know that you could throw Chet Holmgren into the mix, but he's a deflated one.
Yeah.
You're right. So like at least you got someone who on the surface, I'm not saying like the mental side of it. On the surface, Karl Anthony Towns is just as tough as Wembanyama, right? And you could clearly tell that was affecting Wemby last night. You look at Bridges and Hart; those dudes are tough. They're not getting pushed around.
No.
You give minutes to Mitchell Robinson. He looked fine out there with the broken hand.
Yeah.
No issues. Like, that's a tough dude. Landry Shamet, he's tough. Like, the Knicks are a tough team. And so what worked against the Thunder, where the Spurs were able to kind of push them around, you're not going to be able to do that. Here's the difference. If you have Devin Vassell hitting three-point shots and Julian Champagnie hitting three-point shots and Stephon Castle hitting three-point shots, it changes the entire outcome of the game. Vassell went 1 of 6. Castle went 1 of 5. Champagnie hit 5 of 10.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough to make up for the others. And then De'Aaron Fox. Dude makes a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
I think his contract kicks in next year where he's going to make $50 million a year. For De'Aaron Fox. The fact that he gave you 7 points, 3 of 13 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3. That's it. That's the series. Game 2, if the Spurs hit 3-point shots and Vassell is somewhere like 15 to 16 points, Spurs will win the game.
Well, yeah. I think if Victor Wembanyama hits those threes early in the game, which is what he's done in their wins against the Thunder, he hits those threes early. They get out to an early lead, and he keeps hitting threes. You keep extending the lead because we saw in the Western Conference Finals, every time the Thunder would start to creep back in, the Spurs would run down the floor. They'd kick it out to Wemby. He'd hit a 3. That lead would get back up to 11. The Thunder would creep back in. They'd run down the floor. Wemby would hit another clutch 3. So when they have that option and he's hitting threes, like you said, he's unstoppable. He's the best player in the world.
Yeah.
When he's not, he's good, but he's not the unstoppable force that we've seen in past playoff games.
I mean, that's really what swings it with Wembanyama. Like, he can control a game with his defense and the rebounding and the way that he plays around the hoop. But when he starts hitting three-point shots, nobody can compete with that. Mm-hmm. Just hand him the trophy. The good thing for the Knicks is that he doesn't always do that.
Well, but on the flip side, if you've got Jalen Brunson, who's obviously just going to, if he can put up 30, 35 a night, he's going to be able to do that. But if it's the other guys, right? If it's all the other people that are around him, Jalen Brunson, if it's Landry Shamet's going to shoot 50% from 3 and give you 13 points. If it's Karl Anthony Towns is going to give you 18 and 12 rebounds. If it's Josh Hart, that's going to give you another 15 rebounds a night. Just hand them the trophy. If that's the case, give them the trophy, because what I think needs to happen is Jalen Brunson's going to get his. You know that. We talked about it. He's the guy that's going to create his own shot in crunch time. You've said it a bunch of times. If the Spurs don't have that guy, if the Knicks are close within a minute or two of the game, Brunson's going to get his. What the Spurs have to do is control the others. They have to control Towns. They have to control Hart. They have to control Shamet. They have to control everybody else. That's how they're going to win this series, is controlling everybody else that isn't Jalen Brunson.
You can text or call the show at 310-840-4910 from the 530 out in California. The text reads, Spurs Nation expects Wemby to be unleashed the rest of the series after a disappointing second half in game 1. Unleashed. He'll be unleashed.
Okay.
I think he was unleashed.
I think he's unleashed.
I don't think he was tethered.
Yeah.
I don't think they were holding him down.
I don't think so either. I think he just needs to not turn the ball over 6 times. Don't do that.
Well, if he makes like 2 or 3 more 3-point shots, the game swings.
Yeah.
Towards the Spurs.
I think so too. Yeah.
No doubt. Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. I did want to bring this up. I saw this late yesterday in the NFL. We know that with Micah Parsons, he's rehabbing the knee injury. And we've talked at length that we thought that Micah Parsons could be ready for around the start of the season, right? Like we weren't expecting him to miss too much time. But yesterday, Micah Parsons speaking to the media, he essentially, we're looking at mid-October is what we're looking at for the Green Bay Packers and Micah Parsons. The article is from ESPN.com. Rob Domowski wrote the article. Micah Parsons' initial hope that he could return within the first month of the season was never realistic, and the Green Bay Packers star edge rusher has come to terms with that. Parsons said on Wednesday that he's just past the 5-month mark from his ACL surgery, which has revealed also that included a procedure on the meniscus And it was also that he won't be cleared to be back on the football field for even practice until the 9-month mark. So that would put his earliest possible return to practice in late September. And the Packers would likely not allow him to play in a game until several weeks of practice. So Parsons is likely to open the season on the PUP list, the physically unable to perform list, which means he would automatically miss at least the first 4 games, which that's essentially September. But if you're talking mid-October, so you're talking the first 6 games, maybe the first 7 games of the season. So we know with the Green Bay Packers, right? When Micah Parsons is right, this is a championship level team. They are. They could get to a Super Bowl with Micah Parsons right. Can they get to a Super Bowl with Micah Parsons right for only half the season? Or around half the season? Because 6 games isn't quite half the season, but that's also kind of taking these timelines into consideration of it being the earliest he would be back. So you could see like 7, 8 weeks missed of this upcoming season for the Green Bay Packers.
The Packers went 9-3-1 when Parsons was healthy.
Yep.
They lost their last 4 games of the regular season and lost to the Bears in the wild card round when Parsons was hurt after he hurt his knee. Now, this isn't Parsons having a setback. This isn't Parsons, his regular rehab. This is the Packers having a hard 9-month rule that they implement saying you cannot step onto the practice field until 9 months after surgery. He had his surgery on December 29th. So you cannot set foot onto the field and start practicing. Now, listen, you can have all the rules you want to, Green Bay Packers, but there are...
I think they just told you that. I think that's what was said yesterday.
Now, listen.
You're going to drive up there?
I'm not going to. I'm a Bears fan.
To Green Bay, Wisconsin, you're going to tell them to change their rules?
No, absolutely not. I'm a Bears fan. You do whatever you want to, man. You want to keep Micah Parsons off the field for 6 weeks? That includes a Bears game. Go right ahead. You do you, man. But I would tell you that there are freaks of nature, and one of them is Micah Parsons. If he's ahead in his rehab, you let him be ahead in his rehab.
Wow.
If he's ahead of schedule...
They're not doing this like willy-nilly. They've got doctors and statistics to back up their 9-month rule.
Okay. They went 0-5 without him, including a playoff game.
This is how the Green Bay Packers start the season. On the road, weeks 1 and 2, at Minnesota, at New York Jets. Then they have a home game against Atlanta. Then on the road at Tampa Bay. So that's the first month. 3 road games. The Jets are not very difficult, but we expect Minnesota to be better and also Atlanta to be better. So Atlanta, Tampa, Minnesota. Week 5 at home, Chicago. Week 6 at home against Dallas. Week 7 on the road at Detroit. That game against Detroit, week 7, would be October 25th. So that's beyond the mid-October point. Is Micah Parsons back for that road game mid-October? October 25th, which to me is the end of October. But they do have a game at the very end of October, a Thursday night game against Carolina. I'm guessing if you bring him back for one of those, he's not playing in the other, right? Like if he returns for week 7, he's not going to play in a short week game on a Thursday night.
No.
Immediately after coming back. So, okay, so is it safe to suggest that Micah Parsons may not be back until week 8, the short week game against the Panthers at home?
You're missing 3 division games and a game against the conference.
Well, it's 3 division games and theoretically 1 game against a bad team. Because I understand the NFC South stinks.
Yeah.
You got 3 of those games in there. Carolina, Atlanta, Tampa. I'm guessing if we polled the fan bases in Atlanta, Tampa, and in Carolina, they all think they have a chance at the playoffs.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
I get all 3 of those teams.
But only one of those teams is going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, but they're all average at worst.
Yeah.
They're average.
Okay.
They're average teams. But you're right. 3 divisional games. and you got the Cowboys in there. And you and I both think the Cowboys are going to be much more improved.
That's my point. That Cowboys game could be important for a wild card spot, perhaps. So I'm just saying, like.
Now the Packers bye week is week 11. So if the earliest return date is mid-October, and you're looking at that short week that perhaps is week 8 for the October 29th game against Carolina on Thursday Night Football in Green Bay. 2 more weeks after that, you have your bye. You have a game on the road at New England, and you have the Vikings at home. Bye week, week 11. Micah Parsons he's not going to be on the sideline until week 11, right? Like, they're not going to push that.
I don't know. They got a hard and steadfast rule, Chris. They don't want to.
That's why I'm saying I think what's realistic is that on the road at Detroit, week 7, October 25th, week 7.
Mm-hmm.
Can the Packers stay afloat to get to that point to go on a run from week 7 to week 18 and still win a division, make the playoffs, seeding with the wild card? Can they do that with a division where you have 3 other teams, 2 of them that think they have Super Bowl aspirations, and 1 that's going to get a new quarterback here that should be improved?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I just think that they're not going about this the right way. I think that you should listen to your...
Not the doctors?
No. They're listening. No. They're not listening to the doctors.
Well, I'm pretty sure the Green Bay Packers have doctors who are in on this.
Patrick Mahomes had his surgery about 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
What's Patrick Mahomes doing right now?
He's participating in practice in OTAs.
And he's scheduled to do what at the start of the season?
Start at quarterback.
Okay. I'm just saying, is one doctor better than the other?
No, yeah, every team's different.
Is one doctor doing their own research?
Every team's different.
Because Micah Parsons himself said the team has a rule, not the doctors.
Yeah.
Not the doctors. The team has a rule, a 9-month rule. The doctors could clear him, maybe. I don't know. The team has a 9-month rule.
I guess the long-term research project that I would love for you to work on for the next 24 hours.
Nope.
Look at the recovery.
I'm not doing homework.
Of Green Bay Packers players who have torn ACLs.
I'm not doing.
Is the rule justified?
It might be. He said he doesn't want to be re-injured. He doesn't want to be aggravated. I understand that, but I'm looking at other teams that are dealing with ACL injuries, specifically the Kansas City Chiefs, who basically the same timeline, December 15th, December 29th, 2-week difference. And Patrick Mahomes is practicing and is scheduled. They're saying the NFL is basically betting on it by putting the Chiefs in prime time the first couple weeks of the season.
He's going to play.
Yes.
But it sounds like Micah Parsons, you and I could be sitting here in Halloween costumes, and Micah Parsons might not even be playing.
What are we going to be?
I don't know, whatever Raj wants us to dress up as.
Oh, okay. Couples costume?
Raj picks.
Couples costume?
Yeah, he gets the pick.
Don't tempt me with a good time. We could have a lot of fun here.
I'm just saying, we could be.
They'd be very
going out
culturally appropriate,
trick-or-treating,
though, I promise.
And Micah Parsons may not be playing yet for the Green Bay Packers,
which is ridiculous. If the player is responding to treatment, then listen to the player. Your rule be damned. If the doctors are clearing him and the doctors say he's getting better, I don't care what your rule says. Don't you want to win football games? We already saw the evidence of this with the Cowboys. The evidence said they're the best defense in the football when he's on the field.
Abdalla's getting mad.
And the worst defense in football when he's off the field.
He's starting to get angry.
You won 9 games when he's on the field.
Yeah.
You could not win a game when he's off the field.
Yes.
You do you, Packers. I'm sitting here in Chicago, fine with it. You do whatever you want to.
Yeah. Just miss that first Bears-Packers game.
Miss both of them, dude. Miss both of them.
Oh, help us out. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. It is the summer of football, and we will talk about what we have for the summer of football coming up next. ESPN has their way too early top 10 MVP candidate list for this upcoming season, and we'll do that next. The final round of the basketball season is here, and the DraftKings Sports app is now available in all 50 states.
Sweat every possession of the series all in one place with one app. New DraftKings customers can sign up with code B&A26 and spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days.
That's code B&A for Bleck Abdalla 26. B&A 26 in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Bet with DK Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, bet tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus, void in Ontario. Event contract trading with DraftKings predictions involve risk of loss. Sportsbook's bonus bets expire in 7 days. $50 in predictions dollars issued weekly for 3 weeks, expire in 1 year. Redeem one non-withdrawable reward. Availability varies. Predictions offer void in New York. Ends June 28th. Terms at dkng.co/audio.
Vegas stole Game 1 on the road in the Stanley Cup Finals. Can Carolina even it up? Game 2 is tonight. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Here on the show, we love football. That's right. Even though it's summer, it's still time to talk football. And that's why we like to have this segment called The Summer of Football.
I proclaim this the summer of
Football!
What the hell's going on out here? We're going to be here all day, baby. I like this kind of party. Only Brett Favre could do that. I don't care what you say.
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
Just keep matriculating the ball down the field, boys. We need a National Guard. We need as many men as you can spare because we are killing the Patriots.
The Summer of Football with Bleck and Abdalla.
I throw, you catch. It's not that hard, okay?
That's right. Westwood One Sports, your home of the NFL. Today, day 97 until the start of the NFL season. That's right. We're counting down the days.
Getting close.
The Summer of Football here on Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Today, ESPN.com has a list up, the 10 MVP candidates, way too early MVP candidates for this upcoming season. Here's the list, Abdalla, you right?
Mm-hmm.
Here are the names, the 10 names who could be MVP in this upcoming season in the National Football League. Summer of Football, day 97. All right, first name on the list, Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens. Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City Chiefs. Drake May, New England Patriots. Justin Herbert, Los Angeles Chargers. Dak Prescott, Dallas Cowboys. Matthew Stafford, Los Angeles Rams. Joe Burrow, Cincinnati Bengals. Jordan Love, Green Bay Packers. And Brock Purdy from the San Francisco 49ers. 10 quarterbacks, the top 10 guys on the list for the way too early MVP rankings for this upcoming season. Those are the 10 names. I think the guys at the top are the expected guys. Mahomes, Jackson, Allen. Got Joe Burrow on there. Justin Herbert's been in the mix the last couple of seasons.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't quite seen his best yet with the Chargers. Is there anything that stands out for the former MVP from last season? Matthew Stafford's on the list.
Yeah. Yep.
Dak's in those conversations usually.
Absolutely.
Anything that jumps out to you on that list?
I think it's not surprising that you've got Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Those two are the favorites in the AFC with their teams. So it's expected that those teams are going to be very good. It's expected that those teams are going to go far. Joe Burrow, if he stays healthy this year, should have a good year. Their defense is going to be a lot better this year. They made a lot of additions to them on defense. Their offense is always good as long as he can stay healthy. If that offensive line can keep him upright and keep him healthy, that should be good. Mahomes is interesting to me because even when you look at odds on DraftKings, code B&A 26, shout out, 10-1, he's third, tied with Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow right behind Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
We've looked at his receiving core. Like, yeah, dude, if you get up a bunch of yards and your team wins a bunch of games with that receiving core, most valuable player by all means. Like, trust me, you earned it. because that receiving core ain't it. So you have earned it. If you win 13, 14 games and you're ahead you're top of that division, absolutely. I just don't see it for the Kansas City Chiefs. I think one to watch, Dak Prescott at 13-1.
Okay.
Is one to watch. I think we both think the Cowboys are going to be very good.
Yep.
I think that they always have a really good offense. I think he was putting up for a while until they both kind of exploded comparable numbers to Matthew Stafford and Drake May, and then those two just kind of ran away with it. But if you look at it, Dak Prescott was putting up decent numbers next year. He was a
last year he was.
He was
Absolutely.
a close third, and then those two just kind of, obviously they ran away, but Dak Prescott was really good last year. I could see him being, if you wanted a value pick, Dak Prescott 13-1, not bad value right there.
Where's Trevor Lawrence?
Where is Trevor Lawrence?
Trevor Lawrence doesn't make the list. Isn't that surprising?
22-1.
Jacksonville was really good last season.
Yeah. I just don't. I don't know. People really panned their draft. He came on very late towards the end of the season. They didn't have a very good start of the season with him and Liam Cohen. It came on late. I don't know. I think that people just don't think he's gonna, compared to the other quarterbacks, people just don't think he's going to. Also, compared to the list, Brock Purdy way down in odds, 20-1. Way down on the list.
Yeah, compared to the other names on the list.
Yeah.
I would say also along those lines, Jared Goff not on the list.
Mm-hmm.
And Jared Goff is a quarterback that we both expect Detroit to take a big step back to what they were and chasing their championship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that they haven't been able to get to that point. I think last year they lost a lot of one-score games, which that will swing in their favor this upcoming season. So Jared Goff, when the Lions are that good, usually in the mix, in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I would also say, is this disrespect towards Sam Darnold? Darnold just won a Super Bowl with the Seattle Seahawks. If the Seahawks are that good again, is it crazy to suggest that there's a possibility that Darnold could take another step?
Kind of, yeah. I think so.
Okay,
Because
so if that's crazy,
because
is there
everyone
a
kind of
player-
knows.
Is there a player in the NFL that could be MVP who's not a quarterback? Because could Jackson Smith and Jigba be that good to be in the conversation, or is the MVP award just strictly turned into a quarterback award?
It is strictly a quarterback award. I'm looking. There is not a single non-quarterback.
What about
on
your
here.
guy Myles Garrett?
There is not a
What
single.
if Myles Garrett goes out and has like 35 sacks?
Nope.
He just demolishes the record from last year of 23.
The first non-quarterback on the list for odds.
Is it Bijan Robinson?
No. It's, unless I'm skipping over someone, I believe it's Jahmyr Gibbs.
Robinson's ahead of him.
Oh, he is. Yeah. He's slightly, 10 at 100-1. 100-1.
Yeah, and Puka is below that as well.
150-1, because those guys get Offensive Player of the Year. Right now, you're looking at Offensive Player of the Year. You're looking at Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson, and then Defensive Player of the Year. You're looking at Myles Garrett as the favorite, and then Will Anderson.
Any disrespect towards Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams, who are not on this list?
I think that there might be a little bit of disrespect towards those two, because if we saw that when Jaden Daniels stays healthy in his rookie year,
he was in the MVP conversation.
He was in the MVP conversation, and he went to an NFC Championship game. So why not?
Yeah.
Does everyone just expect him to get hurt again? Why can't he stay healthy?
Kind of.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, that's the way
fair.
that I thought his career would go, is that I think it's going to be very difficult for him to stay healthy for extended periods of time.
Well, and I think, look, when you look at who made this list, it's Seth Walder on ESPN.com, and he's also said that, look, when you look at what's going on here with the Bears, everyone kind of expects them to take a step back and not be as good and not win the division. Now, can Caleb Williams in the offense take a step forward with the second year with Ben Johnson, with, DJ Moore is gone, he's a Bill now. Can Luther Burden take another step? Can Roma Dunze stop dropping the football? Like, if all of that happens, Caleb Williams didn't even get to 4,000 yards last year. If he does that, does that even put him in the MVP conversation? Like, you got to get to almost 5,000, dude. Like,
I think the number one step of this is wins.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I find it hard to believe that the Commanders or the Bears will be the best team in the NFC next season.
they're not even going to be dude, they're not even the best team in their division, maybe.
I'm not even talking division or making the playoffs. I'm just saying number one seed.
Yeah.
I think it's very unrealistic that either of those teams will be the number one seed in this upcoming season. And at that point, it's pretty difficult to win MVP unless you're one of the two teams winning your conference.
I mean, to be fair, Caleb Williams in odds is higher than Jordan Love and Brock Purdy. Both of those are on that list that you gave me. So maybe a little bit of disrespect if you're looking as far as odds go.
A little bit.
And the Seth Walder list.
A little bit. So
Just
that's
saying.
the list. ESPN, way too early, top 10 list, MVP candidates for the 2026 season. The summer of football here on Bleck Abdalla. Day 97. We're inching closer each day. We get a new one. Abdalla, here on the show, we like to cover many topics. Do you have any zoo news?
I do have some zoo news.
Oh, he has zoo news.
Well, hello, Mr. Lion. Here's the latest edition of the Zoo News.
What do you have over there?
I mean, listen, sometimes we have to.
What do we have to do?
Sometimes we have to give some not so good.
Oh, no. This is a bad story?
Sometimes we have to give some not so good.
This is an issue
news.
at the zoo? This is something that's not good?
Sometimes we have to give some not so good zoo news.
It didn't play out well for us?
Yeah. I mean,
okay, all right.
Listen, sometimes we have to give some not so good news. And I credit you as a zoo news sleuth.
I don't know if I'm a sleuth. I just watched the local news.
We can give out, like, you know, how they're
little trophies,
like,
little stickers.
Well, like, remember from A Christmas Story, you could give out the little Orphan Annie.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you could solve the mystery and then you'd get something in the mail. We could give out, like, little zoo news sleuths. It's like
for people who alert us to zoo news.
Alert us to zoo news. And
I get a helmet sticker
in Michigan City, Indiana.
Just slap a little helmet sticker right on the side there.
2 zookeepers are recovering after a wolf attack.
Oh, jeez.
A wolf attacked 2 zookeepers in Michigan City, Indiana, after they were doing some work on the enclosure for the wolf. And listen, man, you play in the wolf. Wait, what's the saying? What's the saying?
What is this saying?
You play in the wolf enclosure, you might get bit. Isn't that the saying? Isn't that the saying? Isn't that the saying that we all say?
I think I've seen a meme of that before.
Isn't that the saying that we all say?
Yes.
Because we know that. Listen, we know that the animals. They don't. We report on the news of the zoo, and we love the sleuths out there that report us on the news of the zoo, especially you.
Are they okay? They just got bit?
Yeah, they're recovering.
Okay. Wait,
yeah.
Is the wolf still with us, or usually sometimes sometimes when that takes place, they
no. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think they're okay.
Everything's okay. All right.
Yeah, we know that they don't want to be in the zoo. They want to be let out.
They want to be let out.
Yeah. Yes.
Let us out, let us out, let us out, let us out. The zoo is overloaded.
One of the zoo employees suffered bite marks on her neck and her limbs before she was able to escape. Yeah.
Was this a werewolf?
The second zoo employee was bitten on the arm and was able to climb onto a roof of a building inside the enclosure. Firefighters then rescued that employee using a ladder. Both employees were transferred to a nearby hospital. They were listed as in stable condition. The wolf was just fine. The wolf got a little...
The wolf's great. Having a great day.
The wolf got a little taste.
She was bit on the neck?
Yeah, man.
Jeez.
The wolf, no.
All
the
right.
zoo will be open to the public, but the main wolf exhibit will remain closed.
Yes,
Chris
yes,
and
yes,
Nat,
yes.
thanks to you,
Yeah,
our
well-
number one zoo
Supporter.
news sleuth.
Yes.
It's what's new at the zoo.
That's what is new at the zoo.
I should get a little helmet sticker, a little Zoo News
We're
helmet
gonna
sticker.
give out little pins,
Yeah.
like little Orphan Annie pins, like little star, like sheriff stars.
It's Bleck Abdalla, sponsored by Progressive Insurance, protecting your business vehicles 24/7. See if you can save at progressivecommercial.com. Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final is tonight. We have a competition here on the show. Beat the Raj. See if we can get our picks correct for the Stanley Cup Final. We will preview that game coming up next.
The trade is done. The Patriots acquire A.J. Brown from the Eagles for a 2020
Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
If you miss any part of today's show, check out the podcast on Apple and on Spotify. Also, you can watch the live stream of our show each and every day on our YouTube channel, Bleck and Abdalla Show. New content posted daily right there on YouTube. Like and subscribe, Bleck and Abdalla Show. Thank you to Raj and Roy for producing today's show. Up next here on Westwood One Sports in 15 minutes, Jim Rome and the Jim Rome Show take over. It's Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Tonight, Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. The Golden Knights, they won Game 1. They lead the series 1-0. The Hurricanes host tonight, 8 Eastern, ABC Television. And here on the show, Bleck, Abdalla, Raj is with us as well. We like a little competition. You know, we're playing for pride. That's what this is. Those are the stakes for pride. And we call it Beat the Raj.
Beat the Raj.
All right, so for the Stanley Cup Final, to update the predictions for the Stanley Cup Final, I had Carolina winning the cup in 6 games. Abdalla, you had the Vegas Golden Knights winning the cup.
In 6 games, I believe.
6 games.
Yeah.
And then, Raj, you have Carolina in 5, correct?
I did. Gentleman's sweep for the honor of Josh Graham.
For the honor of Josh Graham, our good friend here on Westwood One Sports. So, yes, in Beat the Raj. Yep.
Beat the Raj.
Dalla's looking pretty good.
Guess who's coming up golden?
He's looking pretty good.
Me.
Golden Knights.
Me.
Yes, that's you're looking very Golden Knights right now.
What a game.
Looks
What
like
a
a guy who
game.
knows
So
his
many
puck.
goals.
He knows his puck.
So tonight, Raj, Golden Knights and Hurricanes, you got to get tonight.
It's
you both
win or go
gotta get
home for
tonight.
Raj. We got to win tonight.
mean, I still have time. I've got 6.
Yeah.
But likely, if you drop the first 2, you're not sweeping the rest of the series.
So to win, do I have to get it in 6, or if the Knights win, I just win, right?
Yeah, I think
you're the
so,
one who
because
picked it.
both
You're the one
Raj
who
and I
picked it.
went with the Hurricanes.
Yeah, okay.
Again,
All right.
this is a super serious radio bet, and we are playing for pride.
Yeah, I just want to know.
It's very
I
serious.
just want to be able to say that I won
Yeah.
Beat the Raj.
and the Bleck,
Yeah, well, yeah, yes.
because I will be also beat the Bleck and
yes.
the Raj and the Bleck.
There's not a song for that.
No, it doesn't flow off the. It doesn't. Yeah.
For Beat the Black.
We could get the
Yeah.
band to record. Yeah, that would be. Yeah.
It doesn't work the same
No,
way.
it
Wreck the
doesn't.
Black?
No, it doesn't.
Wreck the Black?
Wreck the
Oh,
Bleck. Yeah.
okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. But Raj, you're gonna have to have the Hurricanes win tonight,
And then go on the road.
Yes.
For those of us, in the Mid-Atlantic here, it's a nervous night. I'm not actually in the Mid-Atlantic, but I'm representing the Mid-Atlantic in spirit. It's a big night for us to find a way to win this game too, and then we'll take it to Sin City, win a couple. We'll come on back to Carolina, and Josh Graham will be in the house as we hoist the cup and we
The cup and Josh Graham.
He put on social media a picture of himself as a kid kissing the cup and then looking at the cup before game 1.
Yeah.
Did he kiss it?
I don't think so. I don't think you're allowed to.
Say 20 years
until-
later, I'm back to kiss
Yeah.
it.
I don't think you're allowed to unless they win it. Also,
Why,
I don't
but-
know. Do you have the app?
The cup app?
Well, no.
Cup tracker?
No. The Josh Graham tracker.
No, I don't know where he's at tonight.
Okay, because
Is he
I
at
have
the arena?
Yeah, well, I have.
I'm guessing he is.
There's the app. There's the Cup Tracker app. I have the Josh Graham Tracker app. He's en route. He's
Okay.
en route to
He's on his way.
He's en route. Yeah, he's en route right now.
To kiss
You might
the
be
cup.
stopping
To
the
kiss the cup.
karaoke on
Yeah,
the way over.
and to cover the game. Yeah.
Yes, and to cover the game. All right.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's Beat the Raj, our Stanley Cup final preview.
Can you imagine?
Beat the Raj.
Two guys wheel him in like he's Hannibal Lecter.
Okay. Like, what do you think the keeper of the cup was going to do something to him? Like, you know, the guy from Dumb and Dumber is there with the cup. You've seen the pictures of him.
Yeah, I've seen
he looks
him.
like
He
he looks like Jeff Daniels from Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah,
he's got the Dumb and Dumber haircut
well,
with the
someone
cup.
has to be the keeper of the Josh. So if there's a keeper of the cup,
it's Linnell.
That's Linnell. Linnell is the keeper of the Josh.
And Denton.
Linnell and
Right,
Denton,
I mean,
they
that's
come in with gloves on.
Poor guy.
Oh, it takes a village. It takes a village.
By the way, Phil Pritchard is the keeper of the cup with the
I know.
haircut you were referencing.
And did I describe him inappropriately?
No, you did not. I thought it was actually a pretty
He
accurate
looks like Harry
description.
from Dumb and Dumber.
He does look just
He's
like
got
Jeff
the exact
Daniels.
same haircut.
Oh yeah, he does. He does.
He parades the cup around in the shaggin' wagon from Dumb and Dumber. That's how it goes, right? All right.
Can you imagine him having to like admonish Josh, like, too close?
Here's the thing.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, right. Too
Of
close.
all the
Step
things,
away, sir. Step away.
We were lucky enough to be the presence of the cup multiple times.
Yeah, I've held the cup.
I've held the cup.
It's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it's
It is-
awesome.
It is one of the coolest things in sports.
It's awesome. It's been in this city multiple times. I've
As a
heard
part of a
multiple
dynasty,
stories.
right,
We're in
Abdalla?
Chicago.
We're in Chicago.
Yep.
I've been. I've heard stories of things about the cup.
Well,
I would not.
So have I.
I would not kiss that
Yeah.
cup.
Or if you do, go get a shot after.
Yeah, I would need that penicillin.
Yeah,
real
it's,
fast.
The things we've heard
Real
that
fast.
players that have had their day and night with the cup and the things that have taken place
Yeah, bro.
with said cup.
The things that keeper has seen.
There's a few dents in that cup,
Yeah, man.
if you want to pardon the expression.
I would not kiss that cup.
Oh, get out of here, Jackson Dart. You're not winning a cup. It's not happening.
Not winning anything.
I do have a serious hockey question.
Oh, okay.
Is the hockey tonight, are they going to lull me into a basketball snoozer with The Last Dance?
again.
For game one, I'm watching the pregame show
don't
on
know.
ESPN television. Next thing I know, the first period's over and I'm watching The Last Dance because Jordan's on.
What's on ESPN tonight?
I think it's softball.
Oh,
I looked it up. I know the answer.
so yes.
So I will be ready to go for puck drop tonight. 8 Eastern, Carolina and the Vegas Golden Knights.
Can't wait.
There you go. There's our preview of Stanley Cup final game number 2. I thought game 1 was fun. It was a good game
Game one was awesome. A lot of goals.
For what
A lot of
I saw.
greasy goals.
from what I saw. I do have a question for you on I mean, don't have a pregame show leading into The Last Dance when I thought that was the channel for the game.
Yeah.
I was watching the pregame show. I was ready to go.
Yeah.
They're going to have the siren thing. Get everyone riled up.
Sound the siren.
Yeah, they have the parking lot beers. They've got the pulled pork. I learned a lot about Carolina Hurricane hockey before the game.
Just wait till
I
they
was
get to
doing my
Vegas.
part.
Just wait till they get to Vegas and they're like, we have a hockey team?
No, they support there.
They do. I'm kidding. I'm
They
joking.
support.
I'm joking.
I saw this on my way into work today. I want you to explain this to me.
Okay.
I saw people walking around with little umbrellas attached to their phones. I don't get that.
What do you mean?
Like
In case it rains?
today's a beautiful day in Chicago. It's like 75 degrees, sun shines out. There's no chance of rain.
Like to shield it in case you can't see?
Yeah, like it's off the top, so it connects to the top of your phone.
That's too
And it's a little umbrella, and it creates shade for the phone.
First of all, I don't
There
understand.
were 3 people together that had these little umbrellas on their phone.
No, I don't understand the people that have the little pop thingies on their phone, the little handles on their phone.
Oh,
Yes. Those things.
Yeah, so you can stick it
I don't
places.
like. I don't like
stick it onto the mirror.
phrasing. I don't like too many. I don't like stuff on my. I don't even have a case on my phone. I don't like bulk.
Yeah, I don't have a case either.
I mean, if you're putting an umbrella on your phone, what, to shield the sun because you can't see? Turn the brightness up, dude. What are you doing?
Well, I guess that's my question. How obsessed are you with your phone that you can't just find a place where you're not directly in the sun to look at your
Or
phone?
just wait until you're not somewhere in the sun.
That you have a little umbrella that's creating shade for your phone.
They're probably trying to market it.
Though. I think that might.
Yeah,
be
it
why.
overheats. But
How much are you on your phone?
You're that obsessed?
No.
All right. Game 2, Stanley Cup final tonight. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Jim Rome and the Jim Rome Show is coming up next.
This is Westwood One Sports.